So, like an idiot, I forgot to highlight funny moments in this video, so just admire me posing for exactly 1 minute after I stop talking. Starting now. I know you love this, Michael. And now, the continuation.
You know,
So rely on anything that doesn't have to do with sex or sexual appeal.
can you do that?
I'll try.
I know it's low-hanging fruit, but we'll get you.
Turn that into a dick joke, I swear to God.
We'll get you a stepping stool.
And then at the end of the session, we can discuss our fucking podcast name.
Now that we're like 40 minutes in.
Man, okay, alright, so. Somebody please give me a recap.
In the last episode,
The last round yeah.
Let's see.
I died.
We landed on an ocean planet. That was pretty nice. That was a good
Beach
year-long
episode.
vacation.
We had a beach episode. That was fun.
O'Neill and Luke bonded. Shamash didn't like that, so we attempted to castrate him.
Pretty sure they're gonna fuck if they haven't fucked already.
Not if Shamash can help it.
I'll hook you up. Don't worry.
We probably already did. Not good.
We've never even done anything yet. You're not going to, and I'm done with you.
Don't worry. I'll make sure you can.
It's just as much news to me as it is to you.
I love how Iviana has just without hesitation, just got me and Luke's back. Like no hesitation whatsoever.
Then we went to the next timeline, and Yugon got selected by a monastery to act as the voice between us and the Hunger. And the Hunger is a super, actually kind of chill.
Slump.
Well, we don't know if he's the Hunger itself yet.
Well, I think it's like the Hunger given a form.
Saris.
Yes.
We talked to Saris, and
We
we
met
have
Saris. He killed Yugon a couple of times, which is kind of funny, but...
now we've got some questions for him.
And we're how far are we into this timeline?
You are, well, he's already been killed once or twice, so this is in, like, following years. I'm keeping this segment disconnected from actual numbered cycles, so we're just gonna have as many conversations with him as you guys / Yugon wants to have with him.
Right.
Yugon doesn't really want to have more
So
combos,
again,
but...
this is how he racks up those kills, because he fucking gets cold feet in front of the Hunger. Got it.
And does anyone remember the... No, what were you saying, Joel?
Oh, no, I was just saying, it's not cold feet. He's just a kid.
Does anyone remember the what who / who Saris actually is?
Yes, I do.
Isn't he like Saris and Istis are like?
Yeah, they were like the opposites, like God
Not
and
the
Satan,
opposites.
kind of.
More like bodyguards, so to speak.
Yeah, like Saris was the bodyguard of Istis, I guess.
For
Kind of
instance,
like, kind of like, is it the Archangel Michael?
I think so.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
That fell or something.
Saris was to Istis what Kravitz currently is to the Raven Queen.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to
Enforcer
describe.
of her law.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So that's what I was trying to describe.
And right now, we just got done with another failed attempt at talking to him, and we're about to jump in for attempt 3, I think.
Something like that.
Also, I have 3 bonds and 6 assets.
Oh, I really pull up mine. Excuse
Okay,
me.
I should probably note that down myself. Let me pull up WordPad.
And
WordPad.
everybody call out your
Yeah.
funds and assets.
1 second.
Not at this exact second, because I
Yeah,
All right, everybody do it
my
at the
thing's-
same time in 5 seconds. 5.
I will fucking stab you.
I'll help her
Guys,
stab
guys, please, no, don't. She actually knows where I live, and she has lots of swords. Please. She
Don't say anything. I'm all
You
the way
will
up
come
in
straight to
Indiana.
me.
you. Don't threaten a bitch.
Dude,
When
that's
you can
badass.
unblinkingly say, "Oh, I can just use my dad keeps under his mattress."
Dude, that's badass.
And that is a very nice
You've
sword.
dropped that like 4 or 5 times just in this podcast alone. I'm getting
Nice.
very concerned.
Damn, it feels nice saying it's a podcast. I can't lie.
Okay,
It
so
feels good to be a
Shamash,
gangster.
you are
Yep.
at 3 bonds and 6 assets.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 bond, 6 asset. Evie?
9 bonds, 2 assets.
Alright, 9 bond.
Damn.
You said 2 assets?
Yep.
Look at the fucking tryhard over here being
She,
friendly with everybody.
she has 3 times as many as Shamash.
You
Yeah,
got
well, Shamash is not a social guy.
7 bonds, 3 assets.
Hey, you're getting beat by fucking Iviana. I don't want to hear shit from you. Mr.
Well,
fucking
you-
hard over here.
We established that Iffy is like the glue to the cookie, or
Shut
the
it.
cream to the
What
cookie.
the fuck?
The cream to the cookie.
Glue to the cookie.
To the cookie.
what the fuck kind of cookies are you eating?
The kind that apparently involve a lot of fucking...
I was.
What kind
I
that
was.
Evie makes?
I was
I
really.
mean, who doesn't eat burgers when you have sequins and glue?
Oh,
Christ. Onir, what are you at?
I'm at 8 bonds and 1 asset.
Oh, I need to up my game.
ooh. I need
Well,
to.
I have
need
the
to-
most shit out of everybody, so... fuck y'all.
You have the most
Get
trades.
fucked.
You ever wake up during the day and realize that it's going to be a burger friend kind of day?
Yeah,
Oh, burger pants.
Burger
Okay.
pants, that's it.
that used to be the majority of my life.
All right, so I want you guys to like be able to talk to each other in character, out of character, and if you need like a sounding board, I'll let you talk to the NPCs in character as well. Because again, this isn't all happening at once. You've got pretty much an entire year, or even more, between conversations.
Right.
So we got to get the most out of it as much as we fucking can.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Excellent.
So, are we starting now?
Yeah, I mean, I would like you to go ahead and talk it out real quick first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Can I go ahead
Yeah.
and tell them? Okay. So I came up with at least 5 questions. One is, why is the hunger claiming planes? Like, why is it, like, what's its purpose? What was it made for? Is Saris the hunger himself, or did he just make it?
The idea that the hunger is a fucking ship or a construct is terrible.
Yeah. Does life mean nothing to it? Like, I'm not saying, I'm not trying to question its morality. I'm literally asking, is it sentient or not? And is there anything that can even stop it?
You know, that's really good because Gwen told us 4 things that was our goal, was trying to find out what the storm was, how to stop it from getting stronger, how to strengthen us, and how to stop it in its tracks. So probably questions that relate to those 4 things.
I mean, he's probably not going to straight up tell us how to stop it,
Oh,
but
well, here's how you do it. Fucking killing you.
you know what I mean. Like, we might as well give it a shot. And I'm
Do we
gonna.
know what happens to the plane that does?
Yeah, they said last time it doesn't get like destroyed. There's just stacked on top of each other.
So it's just
claimed.
surrounding them.
The hunger is just basically a bag that's collecting them all and stacking them up.
I feel like we should be concerned what it's doing with what's in the bag.
Shrug.
Basically, all of those planes that exist are all kind of coexisting in the exact same space. They're all phase shifted into each other.
Right.
Oh god, this is how like Eldritch abominations are formed.
It is an eldritch abomination.
What are you talking about? So, like, those are the ones I have planned. I don't know if you guys have anything planned, but I'm going to go ahead and ask Lucretia, Alta, Loop, and Soldar what they think about those particular questions.
I want to point out when that Yugon probably told Lucretia and them, like everybody, that he is being continually killed while he's in there.
Yeah,
Right.
but we already like agreed that you'd keep going back in.
Assholes. But he did. He did agree to.
Yeah, no, that was explicitly part of the explanation of what Parlay did, and it was that shit sucks, but it is kind of what we do, which is why I think the idea was that you would wait until the end of a year. That way, if something does happen and you do get killed, you haven't lost an entire year of
Right.
helping.
And we all get killed all the time anyway, so I mean,
At this point, Shamash is just numb to it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean.
I think he's just nervous because it's like the big guy, but he agreed to it because this is important for info.
Right, and it is it is ultimately up to Yugon whether or not he's going back, but the pressure is definitely on to get as much information as possible out of this exchange that you guys are able to have.
right.
Squeeze as much as we can out of him.
Right,
before
exactly.
He gets tired of you for that session.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the others are on board with those questions, and I think Alta is the one who says it. I mean, I understand that this is an eldritch abomination of an entity that's been chasing us through worlds and worlds and worlds, but I mean, certainly don't let your guard down. But if he's being polite, if he's actually willing to talk, obviously don't give him everything, but it sounds like he's actually liking talking to you.
It's conversational.
Should I?
Shamash is actually gonna peek up. It's like, does the hunger consider him a friend?
And Loop kind of goes, I don't think a thing that eats planes for breakfast can have friends.
I got a new
Astute
friend.
observation.
Fucking you out in the background. Yay!
Yay, friends!
Someone accepted me.
He's gonna fucking go in, and Saris is gonna go. So you come? What the fuck are you carrying? They're friendship bracelets.
I made that.
Friends with an eldritch abomination. What is this doing, bro? Right, anyway,
Yugon becomes the eagle of Underswap Sands.
Jesus Christ.
The worst kind of sands.
God.
Well, those are our questions. Go fucking knock him out, Joel.
If you need them, I'm gonna put them in the Discord.
Yeah, I wrote them
Yeah,
down
check them in
too.
Bureau.
Okay. Friends.
Have fun talking to the horrible Eldritch Abomination.
I want to eat some of your candy when I get out and die again.
You're not touching my fucking can.
Okay, so you step back into this. It's slowly starting to become very familiar. This darkly paneled conference room at the top of this skyscraper with its glowing orange sunset. And this time it seems like he's expecting you. He's already got a pitcher of water and 2 glasses. And as you appear, he looks around and he sort of smiles and gestures at the glasses. Did you want any water before we begin?
Oh no, I'm good. I feel pretty parched, thanks. And he's going to kind of awkwardly sit down in a chair that's far too big for him.
And he kind of chuckles under his breath and says, parched means you're thirsty, so are you thirsty or are you good?
I was just thinking.
I
that.
hate you.
I was like, thank you.
I was kind of talking about myself for a second.
Oh no, I'm parched. I'm good. I don't need you. Nigga.
Are you sure about that?
God.
Sweat drop and sips his water awkwardly.
He, Saris kind of laughs, and as he moves to sit down, you notice that he kind of winces a little, and you notice that those dark, like, veins or cracks on his wings are thicker than they were the last time you saw him. And the colors that kind of flicker through those seams are a little more erratic.
Are you okay?
Well, that is an interesting question. I'm not sure what okay is, but let's put it this way. You're the ones who've been collecting the light of creation and keeping it away from me, correct?
Okay.
Yes.
I have to say, it's vexing. And I'm sure this is probably not a suggestion that you're going to take seriously, but it's very inconvenient for me. And I would suggest that you not do that any longer.
No.
Not collecting the light of creation anymore. I mean, isn't that what the hunger is made to do? To, like, specifically just for the light of creation? Or, like, what does the hunger even want? I think that was the question.
And he kind of tilts his head for a second, and I'd like you to go ahead and roll. I'd say either plus mind or plus heart.
Mind.
I should probably actually open roll 20.
Wait. Oh shit! I had a brain fart.
2d6 plus your modifier.
That's not bad.
Oh wait, no, that's a mix.
That's a pass.
It's a mixed success, and remember, you can spend assets to improve your roll. You just have to sell me on how.
I don't. I haven't been. I only specified a little bit, like, on what I have. I only have city rune scraps and medkits.
Doesn't matter. Assets, as soon as you get them, become abstract. You can then turn them into literally whatever you want that will help this situation.
Lord.
It's all good, or you can roll with a mixed success, and it's all good.
I mean, I would gladly use an asset, but for for a social conversation like this with the hunger, I'm not sure what would translate to him wanting to give it.
Fair enough. So I think how this is going to work is that on a mixed success, he'll give you information, but you then have to answer truthfully, as one question truthfully as well.
Oh.
And that's going to be what the punishment is for the mixed success, quote unquote punishment.
I'm going to take that risk then. It's the first round of questioning, so technic for this session.
Sounds good. Okay, so what are you going to use to improve? How are you going to improve this situation?
Oh no, I wasn't going to use an asset.
Oh, okay.
I was saying that I'll take the truthful question this time.
Okay,
because
my
it's
bad.
the first time.
Totally misunderstood. Okay.
No problem.
So, Saris he looks out the window and he says, I suppose I'm after peace. It's gods, Yukon, there are so many pieces.
You cut out there for a second.
He said, there are so many pieces to this question. I am a creature who knows the answer to the question of why we're all here, and to be frank, I didn't like it. There are laws placed on every living thing that they are never made aware of, not in their entire existence. But once you know them, once you see them, they're too cruel to bear. So what I'm after is to grow. I am after peace across multiverses, across universes, across planar systems. I am an eventuality that is far less cruel and final than anything that already exists. And then he kind of looks you over and he says, "Now I have a question for you. How do you keep escaping me?"
Uh-oh.
Is it the truth if we actually?
Okay, can I object a little bit out of character?
Sure.
Not object, but like, okay, can you give half truths? I mean, it's still technically truth.
Sure.
So we don't have to directly tell him. If we can find a witty way to kind of answer him without answering him, that's telling the truth.
As long as you sell it really well.
That's what I mean. So sell it really well, Joel.
Come on, Joel, fucking bring out that inner...
This is what you're supposed to do, Joel.
That inner charisma, Joel. Come on, bring out that inner writer.
Choking on my own spit.
Go get some fucking
We
water.
are so fucked.
We're so fucked.
Hold on, just let me think for like a quick nanosecond.
You could tell him that we're constantly chasing the light before him.
Dance amongst the stars.
No, not that. I'm saying, like, we get to the light before he does.
Oh, I was.
We don't have to tell him that it's like the ship or something. We could tell him that it's like we keep outrunning him.
Oh,
I was answering him.
I was going to say something along the lines of like, because we already brought it up earlier that, well, you keep killing us and we can't apparently die, so we have the chance to move ahead.
I mean, I don't think that's accurate, but yeah, that's still technically an
It's not
answer.
technically a lie either.
Yeah, so.
It's not really a lie because we do get a chance to correct.
But that's the thing, we're still being killed, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. All right.
Like, in that universe, we're pretty much dead, at least in my opinion. I think that's what's going on, but we're in a session. I'm not going to debate.
Yeah, I'm just gonna roll with the idea.
Yeah,
Trust my instincts. Wolf, is that you? Well, I mean, I guess a reason for that is we can't apparently die. Every time you kill us, we end up back in our original selves again. So we have the chance to go for the light before you do, because now they knew and I knew that at that point that you were after the light, and we had an opportunity, I guess you could say, to correct what we did wrong when we all died the first time.
He tilts his head and he studies you very closely and says, "Interesting. So no matter what no matter what we do, you always reappear.
Oh, you're gonna kill me.
That means you've also escaped eternity. I'm going to look into this." And he raises his hand and summons the fire.
Oh, come on! I'm dead, aren't I?
Yup.
Joel, we need to talk about this. We need to talk to you about
You know, this is why I'm using lightning spells and not fire these days. I'm just saying.
Okay, anything?
No, it's okay. I'm becoming as mentally scarred as Yugon is.
Anything you guys want to talk out before you head back in?
I mean,
not really.
we kind of got both the first and the second question that Kate thought up. We know why it's claiming planes, like, because he's trying to grow for the purpose of peace across the multiverse.
And that he is the hunger himself.
Yes.
I've got a quick question. It's one kind of sort of like of morality.
Yeah,
Says-
so that's the fourth one. That like does life mean nothing to him?
No. What I was gonna ask is like,
Oh.
since he's so quick, to go ahead and take, things into his own hands, doesn't he find it, something a little selfish that he's trying to impose, what he thinks is right on other people?
Dude, you're gonna get me killed right away when I question him.
It's a legit question though.
I mean,
We still don't know why he's doing it. Oh well, I mean, no, because he
He's looking
said
for
for the
the
peace.
hunters.
No, because to establish peace
Yeah.
maybe I can
via
question.
destruction.
Maybe I can question what his idea of peace is, and if that's the kind of peace that he feels everybody he's trying to save
Well, that's
wants.
he already kind of said it. He said that he's seen he has the weight of knowledge, and to establish a peace for everyone is by claiming them like he's doing. That's literally what he said.
And my thing was like, why does he think, he knows what's best for people who he probably hasn't even met or never meet?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why does he? What makes you think that this is the best solution to everything? Why are you trying to impose your will on everything? That's my question. I just finally found it. I was looking through my notes.
So the last one is, for me, is there anything that could stop it? But I guess that's kind of redundant because it's him. So I don't have anything else.
Okay. You're to head back in, Yugon, or you need a second?
I'm just typing down what Najee said because I kind of have an idea of how to tie that into my character's perspective. And I have a drink here, so don't worry, I won't die.
Excellent.
No dying, please.
I'm not parched anymore. Glare.
I kind of am, and I kind of want a milkshake though, like high key.
It's not gonna help.
Gare,
Your milkshakes don't bring people to the yard.
they're better than yours.
Yeah, true. Okay. Yeah, I'm ready to go, Gwen.
Okay, so you appear again, and this time he has a chessboard set up.
Goodness.
And I think this is after a cycle where this is one of the times where you didn't manage to find the light. And when you see him, those cracks in his wings have closed just a little bit. They're still there, but they're not as wide and angry looking as they were before.
Oh, so he's kind of dying, it looks like. Or at least it's maintaining him.
Probably.
And so he gestures at the chessboard and he says, I know we don't usually end these conversations on the best of terms, but do you play chess?
I know the basics, yeah.
Excellent. White or black?
White is good.
He kind of smiles and goes, I guess black is appropriate. I don't mean to be vain, but we must look beautiful. All of the countless bonds from countless worlds just streaming off of us in all of those colors. It must be an amazing sight.
I mean, when I'm not being crushed by a tendril, I probably would be able to admire it.
He chuckles and says, that's fair.
You're looking better, though. And I kind of gesture to the wings.
He ruffles them a little bit and says, it's better when we can actually accomplish our goal for the year. It's as I said before, keeping the light away from us doesn't end Well. So, we can come to an arrangement about that eventually, I'm sure. But for now, you usually have questions.
Yep, I'm the talkative sort. And I just, like, I take my seat on my side, and as we're playing, just trying to get this all in my head. Okay, I guess I do have this one question I wanted to ask. It's and please try not to combust me with fire the second I ask.
That would be rude.
Okay. Why do you think that swallowing all these planes and doing all this is the best solution for peace? I mean, why are you trying to push your ideals and your thoughts of peace onto everyone? I mean, despite you saying people are experiencing cruelty and all that, that cruelty and oppression and hardships are what make people stronger and evolve, don't they?
He kind of thinks about that for a second, and he tilts his head in the other direction and says, "Let me follow that up with a question of my own. Do you ever think about what's waiting for you after death?"
Sometimes I do.
It seems to be a little different for you. You're always waiting on the other side of it. That I am interested in. But some people, when they think about it, they think of infinite oblivion, the erasure of everything you were for eternity. Some people think of eternal life in the kingdom of the God they chose to follow. Or for some, they think it's an eternal cycle of one soul, all of the people and all of the animals of their world. Any of these options, Yugon, any of them, erasure, contentment, revival, they're ideas, but eternally, you're just a tiefling, just a mortal. And even after all of this time you spent, you're so young. You can't possibly conceive of eternity. I can. I have. It's insane, and it's hopeless, and it's a burden that we're all saddled with from the moment of our creation. It's a finish line that by definition will never arrive. And it's so uncaring that it doesn't even bother to taunt anyone trapped behind it. That is the price of existence. That's what I am fighting against.
When you say that I wouldn't understand, I think, to be quite honest, me and my friends that have been traveling all this time, I think we're possibly the only people in existence that can understand what you're saying, because we're starting to feel that sense of just running around in circles. We're constantly dying and moving with no sense of where we began or where it's going to end. I don't think my age means crap in this. I'm getting really like this feeling of hopelessness, like not seeing that finish line, but we're still moving and we're still trying to keep faith. So maybe if there's a solution for our problem out there, there's a solution for yours that doesn't involve like erasing these planes or absorbing them, whatever you want to call it. Because you and me, I think, we're a bit more of a similar than you think.
Ooh, I don't know if that's plus mind or plus heart. Ooh.
Hold on.
I actually got a little misty-eyed.
Say that last part again, and I'll try and see if that's harder than mine.
To be, like, I was insisting that Yugon was insisting that he and Saris are a lot more similar than he thinks.
Yeah, that's definitely a heart roll.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's definitely hard.
Well, if I get misty, then that probably means something. Oh, come on.
No.
I'm using an asset.
Okay.
But the problem is, like, that. To be honest, that whole spiel afterwards was kind of my justification because I was trying to tie in with how they're similar. Like, that was the justification because it makes him see it through a different lens because what he's saying, there's other people now who can probably relate to that. So maybe there's a purpose or a reason for him to keep them alive and to find another way.
I think, and like, as you've been talking, you've been continuing this game, and I think Saris just kind of his wings lower, and he looks down at this chessboard, and suddenly along the wood paneling goes pitch black, and hundreds of white eyes open along the paneling of the walls and just stare inward into this room. Saris's head snaps up and goes, "You need to go." And he lights his hand on fire, and you're dead again.
Fair enough.
I expected nothing less.
How was that, though?
That was fantastic.
Ooh. I kind of realized when he was saying it, it was like, hey, we're kind of going through the same shit, too.
Yerp. Yeah, I think we definitely got that one. That's super cool. That's a good one. Okay. Anything else you guys want to hit on your bucket list?
Let's see.
Any questions, Mike? Mayo?
Not off the top of my head.
I had an idea. I think it's the last question that Caitlin said about anything we can do to stop it, because I could potentially tie that in, like, with our conversation the last time and be like, if you can tell us, like, how we can get out of this loop, like, how we can get out of this loop, we could eventually find a way to get you out of whatever predicament or whatever state you're in, and we can find a way to garner peace together.
All right. So I think by this time it's been actually like a couple of dozen meetings that you've had with him. You'll play chess for a little while, and you'll talk, and you'll ask each other questions, and sometimes the conversation will end amicably, but sometimes that same event will happen where you'll feel this sudden wave of animosity, and that whole wall will turn into eyes, and he sends you on your way immediately.
Have you ever tried to dodge the fire?
I don't, dude. I practically combust. I don't think if Yugon at level 14 into present time wouldn't be able to dodge it, I'm pretty sure that Kid Yugon won't be able to dodge it.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a fire.
I mean, evasion is a trait in the game.
I want to play that card, and I'm kind of got an idea to tie this into the whole present day Saris identity.
Do it. Fucking do it.
That is, considering if he plays ball with us.
I guess the dice will tell.
Yep. Oh, by the way, did I use up a asset for that last one?
Yeah, fuck it.
Okay.
Yeah, burn that one. Because I can't think of a way you could bring anything with you into the parlay space either, and I don't want to kill you on that mechanic just because you can't physically bring anything with you to parlay.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to use a social element as an asset.
Okay. All right, cool. So, you find your way back into, after many, many more conversations, the chessboard always comes back exactly the way you guys left it, and this time Saris says, "Do you mind if I start, if I ask first?"
Sure.
You and your friends, how have you made it this long as separate individuals and not gone insane?
Well, I can't speak for them, but for me, each one of them brings something different that makes me feel more alive, I guess you could say, more have more of an ability to treasure life. Some irritate me, but that irritation makes me want to try a lot harder. There's people who show me compassion, which helps me learn to share that same compassion. I don't know, just people of different species and different ways of life, when they come together, they can accomplish a lot, I think. That's what my observation has been in these years.
You keep talking about happiness and compassion, and I don't understand how you've kept those things when they're so small. In the grand scheme of things, they last a second, and I know there was probably a time when I was happy, where I was angry or sad or afraid, but it's been centuries, millennia. I used to spend all of my days just thinking about the nature of time and existence and fate, and maybe that made me happy once, but now I am we, and we grow, and that's all we do. And that's what I wanted.
And I still think that you can get that. I mean, the good has to balance the bad, and the bad has to balance the good. I don't think one can predominantly exist over the other and things be the way that any of us want things to be. It's a balancing act, I guess. I I did want to ask though that since that one conversation that we had when we started our first chess game together, I had told you that there might be a way to find peace without consuming everything, and like I want to help you. I want to help you do that because peace sounds mighty good to me, but I don't think consuming everything has to be the way to do it. I mean, I could just easily not come back here, but even though you keep killing me with fire, burning me alive and all that, you still try to be cordial through and through, and I have no intention to really stop coming back here until we kind of reach understanding. I want to know from your perspective if there's any way we can stop all of this, the hunger, the consumption of planes, and work together to find a way.
The room goes black. The sunlight vanishes. And you see a look of absolute panic flash up over Saris's face. The table turns into ooze and falls away, and the chessboard drops and scatters pieces. And all along the wall, along the windows, all along the sky outside, just those white eyes open again, turn inward, and you feel even stronger than you've ever felt before. This terrible wave of anger, of resentment. And Saris looks at you for a second and lifts his hand, and you are dead.
Well, you tried.
Now we have to kill him. Great.
You know,
And
the funny thing was, like, I wanted to, I didn't want to like interrupt or intercept because you were building the scene and all that. I was going to have like you gonna do something before he did that, but I suppose it would
Okay.
be pretty instant.
what?
Oh, he was going to like reach forward because he knew what was going to happen. Like, allow him to form the fire in his hand, but grab his wrist instead and say, like, I'll keep coming back and and keep wanting to help you, no matter how many times you kill me.
Yeah, no, that's too much to be said in that time, but it's definitely a sentiment that gets across. The trouble is, the next year you try to use that skill, and there's nothing.
Guys.
And from what you learned from the Abyss, there can't not be a response. Once you've activated Parlay, the person you're talking to is pulled there completely completely out of their own choice, which is why you are the one who allows yourself to be killed in response. That's the trade-off. They have to come, but in exchange, they can do whatever to you they want. There's nothing.
Guys.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. Shut up. But he's not responding. Oh, I hope
Not responding.
I
What do you
hope
mean
so.
he's not responding?
he's not answering. I hope so.
There
He
has,
can't
There
not
has to be.
answer. That's not how that works.
there has to be an answer.
New Parlay, who dis?
Unless,
hello,
unless
hello. I am Apu from The Simpsons.
I am the hunger.
Yes.
You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Wait, stop doing that voice.
I almost choked. I almost
Heavy
choked
on
on
the
my
go.
fucking nugget.
I don't remember.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh god damn it.
And that is how your stretch of conversation with the hunger ends.
Oh, that was pretty eventful. Very
I remember.
blazing. Very blazing.
Caitlin remembers.
If he was going to suggest, unless he doesn't exist anymore.
Yugon goes pale at that.
That
He
is a possibility, yes.
he
That
can't.
like his own sentience or construct of like what he was is consumed by himself now. So now it's just kind of an ever-growing mass.
Is that
Right,
if
so
he-
we
if-
took
if
away
he's-
the only sentience it had, and now it's just eating things.
Is this all in character?
Yeah.
Well, it's not like she sounded like that. I'm saying it to you guys just to sum it up really quickly.
Okay.
So yes, basically she says that.
He can't not exist anymore. Like there has to be something to do to help him.
Yeah, it's called stopping him. That's all we can do.
We were gonna go to the mall together.
Sildar, I think at this point, cuts in and says, well, if... I don't like to admit this either. This is the best lead we've had since we started this, but if he was in there and is now gone, and if you really think he was worth this, the best thing we can do is stop it. They're right. The best thing we can do is stop it. He said the machine now runs by itself. We stop the machine.
I know. It's just for all those moments just felt like it was a real person just being constrained by this. And I feel bad for him.
Well, all we gotta do is just stop it and pull him out.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So, does that mean that our time here on this planet's up?
Sucks. I was starting to like this place.
I'm getting bored.
We could play chess while we're on our way to the next planet, Iviana.
I'd like that.
Checkmate. God damn it.
King me.
King me.
Wrong game, Iviana.
Do you
Yeah, no, babe. Yahtzee.
What games are you talking about?
Do you have any
Part cheesy.
Do you have any
Oh, I love Parcheesi!
Do you want to play backgammon?
I didn't even know they had backgammon here.
Fantasy
Do you have
backgammon.
Do you have any threes?
This is
There are no-
this is a checkers board, not
Go fish, and Loop summons an entire fish in the game board.
and slaps
God damn
Shamash.
it, Rope!
I have 42 cards ready to be played with and a joker from another deck.
I love it.
Excellent. Which actually does bring up a thing that I also want to address while we're here. It's been 40 years, guys.
Whoa.
Tired and old.
Yeah, we're becoming very close friends.
Shamash should be dead by now. Dragonborn don't live long.
How
They live until 80.
how
Probably
old
like
was
60.
how old was Shamash? Oh, he would be 60 by now.
No. Well, yes, if he was still
Aging.
if you guys were actually aging, yes.
I'm old as fuck and I want discounts.
This is just a dent in Iviana's lifetime, so she's good.
Fucking elves.
I mean, that's fair. You're an elf.
Yeah, this is also a slightly. It's still a dent, but like a slightly larger dent on my lifespan as well.
Yeah,
So
because
basically
Aston
what I'm
fucking forever.
understanding. So basically, what I'm understanding is, I feel fine. I feel fine. I'm a little crushed. I want discounts.
What? Turn down that music loop!
I think tieflings die at like 80 or something as well.
Tieflings have
Oh,
the same
God.
lifespan as you.
Well, R.I.P.
And then when I die, I get to join my angel fam and hang out.
Yeah. Y'all get to be lit. So are we on the ship?
Yes, and this is what I want you guys to do is like I want this to be an opportunity to, if you guys want to talk to each other in or out of character, if you guys want to talk to the NPCs, establish anything and everything that might have happened in any of the
Okay,
cycles we
all
didn't talk about.
All right, I got something already. Just to kick things off, I don't know how ice broken you guys are into getting your characters together with other NPCs and whatnot. So I've got something to like break the ice for everyone. So Iviana is gonna grab, not you, Shamash. So, for a reason, she's gonna grab Yugon, Lucretia, Sildar, Ulta probably. Everyone except Shamash, Loop, and Onir. Everyone except them.
That's fine. I'm used to being picked last for everything.
No, there's a reason. I mean, there's a reason. She's gonna grab everyone together. Maybe like after dinner or something.
Mhm.
So I gathered everyone here. Is everyone okay? Is everyone comfortable?
Sildar kind of quietly mutters, "I'm here to talk to you about the Shield Initiative."
Damn.
So what are we doing?
Look,
She's just fucking staring down.
So what are we doing, Iviana?
You and I will have a conversation later, mister. That's a very good question, Yugon. So I feel like this is about a very good time. How long have we been together? About 40 years or so.
Yeah,
Right.
Give or take.
I think it would be fantastic if we could do a surprise wedding.
Wait,
Oh,
there's going to be a wedding?
Also, like, I think people need consent to get married. Like, I'm all for a good prank, but
And she's just like patting Ulta. Now I understand you're the mother, so you're a little concerned. It's going to be fine. Don't worry. You'll be the mother of the groom. It's going to be fine.
What do you think they're talking about over there? I don't know, something punchable.
Whatever it is, I'm kind of interested. I'm not sure why they just left the three of us out of this.
I'm used to being. I'm
It's
used
'cause
to
we
being.
don't like you.
I'm used to being left behind. Little side glance at Loop.
Aww, that's sad.
Oh, that's sad. Anyway.
Anyway, back to the important part.
Hmm.
So, is anyone here ordained? No, just me. Okay.
Oh, look at
Also,
that.
like,
I have the
I-
power.
Well, I'm literally descended from a goddess. Does that
Well,
count?
there you go. And you're the captain of the ship. That is usually how these things go.
Lucretia raises her hand and goes, I have a question.
Yes, Lucretia. No dumb questions.
Why?
She never.
That's a dumb question.
I was about to say she
Solo
never.
snorts.
I was about to say she never gives dumb questions, but that might have been a little bit questionable.
That was correct.
I love you. I love you.
I love you, pseudo mom.
It's because Loop and Onir love each other. And not Yugon, sorry. Shamash won't let Loop have sex until she's married, so obviously we have to marry them.
You don't get the date until you're married.
Lucretia, like, well, they're all adults. I'm certain they could probably talk this out. But Sildar's like, you're kidding, right? Shamash is a child in an adult body.
Exactly. Thank you, Sildar.
Ever get the feeling they're talking mad shit about me over there?
Sometimes I get that feeling all the time. Not
get the
really.
feeling-
I mean, that's my life every day. You just ignore it and
Just
So,
ignore the feeling.
so we're going to set up the proposition. If they don't want it, they don't have to. But I would preferably like Loop in a dress. And she doesn't have to.
Ah! Shamash doesn't know why he laughed, but it was fucking hilarious.
a chill just went down Luke's spine.
So she takes the group and kind of pulls them to a side. Like one aside plus another side. So they're double aside away from
Double.
the original the original pulled aside. So now they're like 3 times as far away. So I'm going to set everything up. If you'd like to attend, you don't have to, but if you don't, you're a bad friend.
Lucretia takes Yugon and pulls them one aside closer again so that they're back to the original level of aside and goes, I don't think this is a very good idea.
I mean, I got a question, Ivy.
I'm over here.
You have to go back.
Oh.
You have to go one level deeper of asides.
Yeah, because I'm still stuck at 3. You guys
Just to
left
put
me.
everybody in perspective, me, Loop, and Onir are currently the point of origin.
Yeah, if you guys move, the point of origin changes.
So as long as we're here, there are asides to go to.
Justin, I got a question.
What?
Will this annoy Shamash?
Probably.
I'm up for it.
I don't know what you said, Yugon, but
Shamash, why don't you come inside?
Lucretia just puts her face in her hand.
walks over. What?
I have a very big job for you.
What's that?
I need you to be a taste tester. For candy.
Eyes go fucking slit. You have my attention.
So I need you to go down.
I don't care. There's candy. I'm gone. Bye.
I need you to go down to the cargo.
Find the candy. Bye.
It's a giant bag of candy. I need you to tell me which color tastes the best.
Woo!
That will keep him distracted for a few hours. We have some time.
He kind of peeks his head out. I heard distracted. What?
I'm very distracted by how good you look.
Woo!
Sildar just shakes his head and goes, I don't know why I'm surprised that worked.
Because he's an idiot. No,
No, my character has fucking feelings.
he's also an idiot. So can I just say that Iviana just sets everything up like full on elven ritual style with like ivies and flowers and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I know she's not a religious figure yet, but I would like to imagine she can do rituals,
Yeah.
being an elf or something.
I see no reason why she wouldn't be ordained just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
she
got
took,
this.
she took a course in it in college.
I got this on what the previous timeline called the interweb.
Is a net of mysterious and beauty. So, where's Loop right now?
I think Loop is hanging out downstairs with Shamash, just chilling, like, no, I don't like that one. That tastes like artificial grape flavored death.
You're so picky.
Loop.
You're not picky enough.
Loop.
She kind of lays upside down on the cargo crate she's sitting on. What?
I need you to come here. I have cake for you.
Cake!
Oh.
You don't like cake.
Hey,
Sorry.
you get all the candy. I'm getting cake. Sit your ass down.
It's a big cake. It's a big, big cake, I promise. I would never lie to you. You're my best friend.
Looks over at Loop. I'm sorry.
And Loop's like, it's a living.
And there is a big, big cake. Probably like a 3-tiered cake going on here.
And I think Sildar actually like helped bake the cake. Or
Oh,
at
for
least
sure.
Stood around doing things that you told him to do. Because anytime he tries to take initiative, you're like, no, honey, put that down.
Well,
It's
can she puts like a she's got like a kiss the cook apron on him, so
So Loop follows along.
it's a big, big cake. Now, this is just the tester cake. I want to. What kind of frosting do you like best?
Her eyes kind of narrow and she looks at you and goes, why are you making a cake?
I'm learning how to bake.
You clearly already know how to bake if you made a 3-tiered cake.
No, this is the beta testing cake. This is the pre-baking cake.
This is
Isn't pre-baked cake though?
Okay, do we have a fridge or something?
Sure.
Okay, so she opens the fridge and there's like another cake inside there.
Dude, I'm impressed.
This is the post pre-bake cake.
I don't know what's going on up there, but it sounds confusing.
She's got like 3 cakes prepared. If like the thing is that if anyone ruins the first one and the second one, there's a third one backup.
Loop just goes,
You are dedicated
Did
to fucking
you-
with these kids.
did you pre-bake 3 cakes?
She kind of gestures to Sildar to like lock the door. Yes, I did.
Sildar sneaks over to the door and locks it, I guess.
Okay, is there any other way out besides that door?
We'll say no, just because I
Okay,
have no
great.
idea where the fuck this is going.
Great.
Jesus
So
Christ.
I'm gonna grab Loop,
Uh-huh.
like in a crushing bear hug, so she can't move,
Okay.
and tell Sildar to turn around.
Okay.
I'm getting her dressed in her wedding dress, basically, and tying her up. And we're gonna do the same with O'Neill.
You lived a good
Okay.
life. You lived a
So-
good life.
For a second, Loop doesn't even struggle. And then she kind of tips her head and goes, are you kidding me?
It's in the cabinet,
she-
by the way.
Disappears.
Fuck.
Like, she completely just vanished.
Is she invisible or did she teleport?
She is no longer anywhere in the physical vicinity of your arms. You
But
don't
can-
know what spell she cast, but she's gonzo.
Can I throw powder everywhere, like flour, just bags of flour, to see if it like?
Someone's gonna enter this fucking room and wonder what the fuck is going on.
Yes, but
Okay.
it doesn't stick. And Sildar, after a second, shakes his head and goes, I think she used blink. I don't think she's even in the same plane of existence anymore.
That's unfortunate. Oh well, let's go try O'Neill. O'Neill,
Hello.
Are you not going to clean
No.
up?
no.
So they're just walking in. So
Well, no, because then they'll leave tracks. Because if Luke comes back in the same spot that she teleported in, it'll lead them to where she's going.
So you're dragging O'Neill into the fucking flower company.
No, we're gonna go find him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sildar, like, are you sure we can't just clean up the kitchen?
No, it's okay. We have 2 other kegs.
I love past Ivy
She loves you too.
for some reason.
Christ. Okay, so you go to find Onir.
Yeah, where is he? Where's O'Neill?
Where is Onir?
I'm probably down like. Actually, I'm probably just like looking out like at the stars and shit, and just like, god damn.
He does that in this
totally-
era too.
I mean, yeah.
Question.
He's been stargazing ever since he was a child.
Oh, that's adorable.
Let's ruin it.
That's cute.
Gwen, does chloroform exist in this world?
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god!
Well, we saw what happened the first time. It didn't go well, okay?
Just chloroforming. Oh Jesus.
Does it or does it not?
I think Sildar gives you this long stare and says, I might have made something
Sildar, I
Similar-
expected better from you.
Her face lights up.
similar
I expected
in
better from you.
properties to chloroform for study.
Oh,
For
entirely for study. I completely understand. You know who'd be entirely willing to help you with your study? Onir. He's a nice fellow.
I don't think so, but
Onir, would you like to help us with a study?
Wait, are you actually saying this to me, or
Yeah. She just stopped and asked him.
sure? What kind of study?
Oh, we're adapting a new form of liquid, and
Oh.
it's going to be useful.
Hey, Onir, smell this rag. Does it smell like chloroform?
Well, first of all, here she's got like an eyedropper. Stick out your tongue.
Wait, what is
God.
this? What is this?
It's the liquid. It's not anything. It's just water.
Okay,
Don't fucking mind at me.
If it's just water, then why do you have?
I'm telling Michael it's just water because he's like dying right next to me. No, this is
No,
what.
do we have chloroform in this? Yes, it's called a fucking
No.
beat to the back of the
No,
head.
it's no.
Sildar, like, he gives Evie this look and is like, I'm trying to make
Well, she's got it.
essential oils.
Well, she's got what it is.
Okay.
She's basically saying that the dropper that she's putting on his tongue is like, you know those taste stripping pills that like make things taste like candy?
Oh,
she's-
uh-huh.
She's developing that for the Dragon Twins. She's not though.
The quotiest unquote to ever quote.
Fuck. Okay, so Onir.
So what is it? So what's the response? What does he say? What is she said? What the thing is?
She's just getting him to pull his face closer to give him something.
She's did she explain what this thing is?
Yeah, the taste tripping thing.
Yeah, the
Okay.
thing
It's
that
to get them
messes
to
up your
eat.
taste buds.
Yes, it's to make them eat vegetables.
Okay.
But she's concerned about them.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, so she's just gonna she's just gonna shove the rag in his face
It's like.
and keep it there for a few seconds.
Just push my hand off. Like, Ivy, what the hell are you doing?
No, all you need is a few seconds, my dude.
Onir roll plus body.
Oh, that's my worst one.
Can I do plus body as
Now
well?
rolled.
Yeah, do a body contest.
Okay.
Shit. Alright.
Shamash, like, I want to show off my body.
Can I give an asset
I
to
have-
Ivy?
I have yet.
Fuck!
I'm gonna throw a couple of assets.
I'm gonna throw an asset.
Yes.
Oh, never mind.
What?
He sucks.
My body is terrible, dude.
Okay, so does he pass
You
out?
only rolled 1d3.
Oh yeah, I will give up my asset for
1d6.
this.
Oh shit, that's right. Sorry, I did the.
I mean, at this
I'm
point,
sorry.
you can't
Yeah,
win.
alright.
Still.
See here. Okay.
I will give up an asset for this.
She will.
Okay. What are you going to do?
Grab
Well,
the back of his
yeah,
head.
grab the back of his head. That's what I had planned.
This has gone from fucking a cute little prank. to-
No, this will be great. Trust me.
Okay, so you are now down to 1 asset,
Yeah.
and Yugon is down to 2 assets.
Mm-hmm.
Good to
Hey.
know. Okay, so yeah, no, you managed to knock Onir completely out, and
It's okay. You'll fall in love.
Sildar is like, I really don't like this.
Trust me, you'll like it. It's gonna be okay.
This is the most illegal thing I've been a part of.
I gave a minor weed. Just stop.
This is the most scientifically honest thing I've ever done.
So, is it okay if they dress him up in like a tux or something? And
I
just
mean,
like
I guess it
drag
doesn't
him
matter
up
if it's okay because they're gonna do it
It's
anyway.
fucking
Yeah, pretty much. So he's gonna be like tied to a chair in a tux, and so now we just gotta find Luke and put her in a dress.
Okay. So the next time you spot Loop, she is hanging out up on deck, and she kind of looks at you and she says, "Kitchen's still full of flour."
You're not in a dress.
Of course, I'm not in a dress.
Do you not want to be in a dress?
Not particularly.
I mean, you can wear that, but it's kind of drab, especially since O'Neill's wearing a tux.
For what?
He's waiting for you. Just kind of throws her thumb over, getting married, all that stuff.
Like, her brows knit together, and she goes, "What the hell are you talking about?
I'm going to marry you too.
Why?"
It was supposed to be a surprise, but now you've ruined the surprise because you're so difficult.
Sorry.
So, am I to understand this entire time that's been happening, Shamash has just been eating candy?
It's a big fucking bag.
Eventually, you're just gonna come up with a stomach ache, and it'll be like the scene from I think it's either Community or IT Crowd where he walks pizzas and everything's on fire.
Yep.
Don't worry, I'm monitoring Shamash so he doesn't catch wind of the plan.
So like, Luke brings both hands together in front of her face, in that the meme pose.
My boy.
Boy, why do you think that I want to get married?
Just kind of frowns. Well, don't you care about him?
Why? What? No, why do you think he wants to get married? Like, what crossed your mind that this was a good idea?
The sexual tension between the two.
No,
is-
no. Well, Shamash won't let you be together, and I want to fix that.
What makes you what makes you think I give a shit about what?
Well, you care about him deeply. I wanted to find a solution.
And the solution being to kidnap us and marry us against our will and his?
It might have been an ill-conceived plan.
Might have been. Like, maybe. Just a tiny bit.
Might have been, huh?
Look,
I'm trying the best I can.
I get the idea. I can't say I appreciate the sentiment, considering you were about to almost literally ball and chain us. But, like, why? Why? Like, there's no way in hell that he would want anything like that crazy. So, I mean, what's the point?
Your love gives me hope.
She kind of shakes her head a little bit and goes, "What?"
You give me hope. There's little keeping me happy. And seeing you both happy makes me happy. I don't...
And she kind of exhales a little bit. Look, I don't even really know how he feels about anything, because I'm like this crazy super weapon who just goes around blowing shit up because she doesn't know what else to do with herself.
No, go ahead.
So if he's into that, like, for real, then that's cool and all. I don't know. Because asking things is hard.
She has a really good idea.
Okay.
She just kind of puts her hands together. Okay. I have an idea.
That's terrifying considering your
I don't
track
know if
record.
you'll trust me, because I kind of tried to kidnap you.
So I'm supposed to trust you because you tried to kidnap me.
This is a show of faith. I'm not going to try to kidnap you, and I'm going to release O'Neill.
Oh, thanks. How fucking generous of you.
But let me make it up, please.
Okay. But
Wonderful.
believe you me, if you do anything janky,
It's
you are
not
getting
janky.
banished to the eighth dimension of hell. For like 2 weeks.
Understandable. Have a nice day. No. Can you actually meet me back here in like 2 hours? That would be great.
Okay.
She kind of flitters out.
Sure. And Luke is like, I guess, fucking out now.
Well, okay, how long is O'Neill knocked out for?
Just gonna fucking.
How much fucking chloroform did you use?
A lot. Can we say 2 hours?
Let me see.
You got fucking poking O'Neill's body. I think you killed him.
Poke. Poking Shamash while he's eating candy.
You gone. You're
Shit,
small
Chlor.
and young. So
I can just imagine O'Neill just like waking up early, you know, just like, oh, fuck.
So yeah, no, I think, well, it needs chloroform needs constant reapplication to work. And apparently that, so
so
he'll be
he just
awake
wake up.
fairly soon.
I was about
Okay.
to say, so she just
Okay.
applies it so he wakes up in 2 hours.
No, it's okay. So basically, like she kind of puts a lot more effort into it, and so instead of a wedding, it's like a candlelit date, and she's making Sildar the waiter, and she'll make them the food
And still they're like, why am I still doing this again?
because you're my friend.
And you owe me.
Yes, but you know what? This is less skeevy and terrifying than chloroform random people, so.
And I said I was sorry, and I'm making it better. Now go.
Alright. I'm leaving. And he goes off to do the thing.
So it's like a really nice candlelit dinner for the two of them.
Okay.
And like flowers everywhere. O'Neill's not, fucking passed out anymore.
You're probably still groggy as shit, though.
Also, like, has anyone seen my child?
No, I haven't.
And yeah, actually, Michael, that is a point. Yeah, chloroform after application like that, you are like super groggy for like forever.
Well, thankfully it's in 2 hours, so
So that involves her fucking taking his head and dunking it in ice cold water.
yeah.
Are you awake yet?
No, gently. She's a doctor. She knows these things. She knows what to do.
So, light application of cold water to the fucking
Yeah,
body.
yeah. So like
Are you awake yet?
totally lady in the tramping this thing.
Amazing. Okay.
Shamash is so distracted by the fucking candy that he has not been seen for about 6 hours
I'm
now.
kind of concerned.
And yet he will always keep that figure.
Anyway, so this is like O'Neill and Luke now. He's just kind of like watching every now and again and in the kitchen, so you guys can go for it.
Is O'Neill untied?
Yes, he's untied.
Never been tied.
No, he was tied for a little bit. Yeah, he's untied. He's allowed to be conscious. He's allowed to have his physical body and operate in the way that he was. I would recommend that he keep on the tux, but he doesn't have to.
No, I actually took off that tux as soon as I was able.
Fuck you.
He has the option.
I'm sorry if I was, kind of forced into this. I'm still groggy from the chloroform, goddammit.
Personally, I think you look pretty good with the tux.
Yeah, you look pretty spiffy.
No one appreciates my effort.
Well, your effort did get someone chloroformed and almost kidnapped another person.
That's
So
because I'm desperate.
I appreciate you, Ivy.
then you should probably stop taking your desperation out on other people and just do something about it
That was me doing something about it.
Oh,
by projecting on other people.
I'm sorry.
We'll work on it.
Yugon holds up a sign. Ivy plus Sildar equals heart.
Lucretia had retired like 5 or 6 hours ago. Just did not even get involved. So, Onir, do you do anything different? Do you wear anything in particular? Or do you just show up like, what the fuck is this shit now?
Yeah, I just show up like, fam, what is this?
Loop shows up in kind of a slinky dress.
In a what dress?
Slinky dress.
Yeah, very slinky, very form-fitting.
Like a cocktail dress.
Yeah. Dark green, and it's like, well, great, now I feel overdressed. I'm gonna just leave. And she starts walking away.
Wait, Loop, wait, don't go. Come back. Come on.
This is stupid and ridiculous, and I don't know why I'm taking the advice of someone who chloroformed you.
Yeah, I'm still feeling a little lightheaded on that, but so yeah, just bear with me here.
Sildar, he's drowning. Go help him.
Sildar, like, kind of shuffles in and goes, so, Eviana made pretty much an entire banquet, so basically whatever you want, just let me know, and I'll keep her off your backs as much as possible.
When did she go from, like, being, like, the closest relationship she had to her fucking tamer?
Because she fucking kidnapped someone.
She was getting very desperate, okay?
So Sildar, like, brings out food for you guys and you chill out. What in general do you talk about? Aside from being kidnapped and chloroformed. Which is incredibly romantic.
I'm
Take your comment.
sorry.
We're never gonna let you fucking forget that.
I got something I'm wondering about. Where's Tamash?
He's fucking doing tricks with the fucking candy.
I think at this point Alta has made her way down into the cargo hold, like helping clean up, and Shamash probably has a stomach ache by now. So she's like, here, just drink this. It's going to taste terrible, but it's going to make you feel better.
I'll take anything that's not sweet right now.
What have we learned?
Don't fucking eat candy.
Well, that's a little overboard, but good enough. Now come on, let's get you to your room.
Aw, poor Shamash.
Alright, so dinner conversation goes, and, like, Onir, I feel like most of the time, you're not the only person on this ship that puts up a front. But most of the time, you're just the good kid. That's the face you wear. What are you like when you're not just being the good kid?
I mean, well, to tell you the truth, I don't really know. I mean, I understand, people put up fronts because, somebody's wronged them or they're just scared to get close. But I'm just me. I'm not really sure how else to put it. I mean, I do, have thoughts, those thoughts sometimes. You're just like, what if I just, went and just took this thing? But I try not to. But, mostly because, I just have friends and I've got family that, try to provide everything that they can for me. And I've just never really had to do much of anything. I will admit, though, it does get pretty boring sometimes.
So what you're saying is you need somebody to teach you how to cause trouble.
Oh, God.
I mean, a little, just not overboard, but sometimes, yeah, I'd say so.
Well, fortunately, my middle name happens to legally be Trouble.
Is it really legally trouble?
Got that shit passed as soon as I turned 15.
Loop
Her middle
trouble?
name is
Oh.
Estrella.
Oh,
Straight up.
no, it's, oh,
No, it's
You're-
Myrtle.
I was like, oh, you're You're serious?
Well, not really, but that's exactly the kind of thing we need to teach you. You go around just being such a goody two-shoes and treating everybody like they have so much good in them. And, like, that's cool. That's admirable. Do you ever do anything that's not boring?
Damn.
I like to stargaze.
Did my voice glitch for a second? Did I not explicitly specify not boring?
Was that fucking foreshadowing?
Well, I like to hunt. I don't think hunting's boring.
I mean, okay, yeah, fair, killing shit. Okay, well, you know what? We'll workshop it. We'll work on it. And once you guys are finally done eating, she kind of reaches over and like pats your cheek. That was fun, aside from the attempted kidnapping.
Yeah, I'm still feeling lightheaded. Please keep Iviana away from me.
She kind of snorts and goes, "That woman is a force of nature."
Here, O'Near places an ice pack on your face.
Thank you, Yugon. I'm not sure how this helps, but I appreciate the estimate.
He's trying. Bless his heart.
Bless my lungs.
Finger clicks. He's picked that up from Loop. The finger clicking. Hey.
Finger guns.
Finger guns.
Yup.
Yeah.
Shit, is that like actually audible when I do the finger guns?
Yeah, I can kind of hear it.
Yeah, I can
Oh,
kind of hear
okay. I was like, how the fuck did you know that was a thing?
it.
Okay. So yeah, I think that will end the dinner. And during cleanup, I think Sildar pauses and he reaches out and he takes your arm, Eviana, and he's
Wait, what? You cut out.
I stopped to breathe.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's all good. He says, "Are you feeling any better?"
A little bit. I mean, if hating me brings them together, then yes. Mission accomplished.
I don't think they hate you. I'm pretty sure they don't hate you. I think pushing people into doing things against their will is probably not the way to make friends and influence people.
Noted.
Lucretia can learn from that.
Oh.
This is not your moment.
Shots preemptively fired.
Sorry, Shamash is bitter.
He kind of squeezes your arm and he says, You know, if you're getting lonely, I'm almost always in the workshop, right?"
Yes, but would you actually want me there?
I don't see any reason why not. You're funny. You're usually not doing crazy stuff like this, and when you are, usually it's good intentions. I mean, you got me out of here, which usually takes an act of God to get me to not be in my workshop, so...
You're very good at it.
he can tell he's starting to ramble, so he just he takes his hand off of your arm and pulls away and is like, "Well, offer's open. If you want to get into any adventures that don't involve braining people and trying to force them into wedding dresses, we can do that."
I'd like to do that.
Aw.
Nice. Cool. Excellent.
Do you have to be so formal? We've been friends for 40 years.
I mean, yeah, that's a fair point. So cool. And he kind of gives a hesitant thumbs up.
She just shakes her fucking head like, oh my fucking god.
He goes, "What? Friends aren't my thing. I'm trying."
Yes, they are. You just won't let them be.
Well, I guess it's a good thing I have a doctor who usually knows what's best for a person to help me start figuring that out.
She's just gonna like hook her arm in his and just go to the workshop.
Oh.
Excellent. And they hang out.
Montage.
Yay.
She's gonna lay on top of the engine again. She doesn't care.
You realize how sexual that looks, right?
No, but I'm gonna stay here regardless.
Okay. Whatever floats your boat.
Whatever floats your boat.
That doesn't help.
It does help. It doesn't help you, but it helps me.
So what you're saying is you're being contrary to amuse yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you think about that.
And I think I think the two of you just become snark friends. That's how that happens.
That's
Just
some,
eternally snarking back and forth at each other.
that's some serious friend goals.
Nice. Okay. Was there anything else that anyone wanted to establish, like character changes, things that happened anytime during the last 40 years?
Oh, fuck. Well, I mean, I'll go if anybody else has something, just go ahead. I'll just go last.
I
don't have anything at the moment, no.
I mean, I guess seeing that my death count has risen tremendously, I had a lot to think about. So I was thinking that Yugon would find Lucretia to talk with about it.
Okay. I think in this particular world there are lots of libraries. So, as you're wont to do, you find her in one of those.
Oh God, I got a piece of fry stuck in my throat.
That's no fun. She's got a couple of books open, and she's doing that thing where she'll like read down one page of one book and then run to the next one. Just 5 books open at once.
I still can't get how you can read all those at once.
Well, it's a skill that takes some time to acquire, but it's certainly useful. And she looks up and she says, Did you need something?
Well, I didn't need anything, but I just... And he scoots into a seat across the table. I've just had my mind on a lot of things lately.
She closes all 5 books and stacks them aside.
It's all 5 of them.
Damn.
So, some light reading today, Lucretia.
Dibs.
Well, normally I've got plus, so yes. She
Some light reading, okay.
she leans and kind of takes your hand, Yugon, and says, "What's wrong?"
Oh, I was about to say nothing's wrong, but that'd be kind of a white lie.
You wouldn't be here if there wasn't.
I guess I've been thinking a lot about what happened on the peacekeeping world and talking with the hunger all those times. I mean, Saris. I can't stop thinking about like what he said about how he is wanting peace and seeing all these people who are suffering from all these different laws and regulations, sometimes like created by the world itself or the universe itself, and just not being able to do anything about it. Part of me really wants to like understand and relate to him, and I don't know if that's wrong considering what he's done.
Ooh, okay. Man, shit. Okay,
That
so
would make the DM go, ooh.
Lucretia kind of folds her hands in front of her, and she looks you very squarely in the eye, Yugon, and she says, "Rarely in the real world do you find people who are evil for the sake of being evil. That is a concept left to fantasy, to science fiction, to narratives. Sometimes in stories you need a villain who is nothing but a villain. Someone you can take your anger and your hatred out of, but rarely is life that way. There are people who have done, in our world's history, in the histories of the we visit, there are people who have done terrible, terrible things with the deep-seated belief that they were correct or that it was the only thing they could do. And you can vilify them, you can understand them. You don't have to support what they've done. You don't have to believe they were right. But knowing why they are doing the things they do, that is important, both to be a chronicler and to be a well-thought and well-developed person.
I told him that it's the pain and the hardships that make people grow, and that's what makes us kind of similar. And I was kind of thinking about myself a little bit about like Shamash and Loop and all that, and like, you know, I used to get really, really mad on the inside with a lot of the things, a lot of the teasing they say my way, but I think I've finally started to kind of understand now that they don't mean it in the sense that they don't like me. I think I just haven't taken the time to really get to understand them, and that's why I took it the wrong way. And I don't want to just make assumptions about people again, and dang it, I really want to understand Saris more, so that's why I decided that I'm going to save him somehow, someday. Even if it takes a long time to do it. Because I think he really wants happiness and peace. He just can't say it because the hunger won't let him.
Lucretia smiles, and she says 2 things. First, after everything we've all been through and everything you went through from him, that's an incredibly brave thing, and I'm proud of you. Secondly, it's been over 40 years since we started this journey. You're allowed to say damn it. You're not actually 15 anymore.
As long as I'm still physically 15, I'm just taking joy in acting a little bit childish now and then just blame it on, hey, I'm 15.
I can see the appeal of that.
But if he ever tries to do anything towards you, I just want you to know that I'll always protect you no matter what.
Nothing's gonna harm you. Lucretia, I think, table just hugs you very tightly.
Yay. That's very
And I'm going to do everything in my power to protect you and everyone else here. I promise.
Hey, I'm good.
Yay! Shamash?
Well, thinking about it, I think the only person that I actually can talk to would be Alta.
Why?
Why?
Well, because he's the only one that hasn't talked to her yet, so...
Ooh, broadening.
I mean, I could talk to O'Near, but he's already got Dragonborn conversations going on. I could talk to Luke, but he needs to get out of his little comfort space. He's afraid of Viviana right now because he heard through the grapevine about a kidnapping attempt. Lucretia and Yugon are busy right now.
Okay. Yeah, you can go looking for Alta if you would like. You end up finding her. She is up in the crow's nest, actually. And she's kind of weaving her hand through, and you see, as you kind of clamber on up there, that she's got a very faint, kind of shaky illusion of a little bird that she's kind of puppeting around and making fly and flap its wings, and it looks kind of wonky. It's not great, but gosh darn it, is she trying?
You can say damn it.
It's been 40 years. You can say damn it.
Do you often come up here and make Mirage Birds captain?
Alta kind of gives you a look and says, "Do you often come up here and question your captain's judgment, security officer?"
I come up here and question a lot of things, man.
You know you don't have to call me ma'am, right?
It's a sign of respect, you know that. Besides, it's weird calling you Alta, to be totally honest.
Well, I'm not sure what I've done to maintain that respect, but I appreciate the gesture at least.
You get my respect simply for the fact that it feels like you're the only person in this crew that feels like I belong to besides my sister.
She kind of narrows her eyes and goes, "If anyone's told you that you don't belong on this crew, I will have them keelhauled personally."
And he chuckles a little bit. Look, I'm not stupid. I'm abrasive. I talk a lot, flex my muscles, and not really do anything about it. And even I'm stupid enough to, and even I'm smart enough to know that I probably shouldn't have been here. And Luke will always tell me, yeah, I belonged, but she's doing the whole typical sister thing. But having somebody like you actually talk to me and treat me like I'm an actual part of the crew as opposed to some kid that got lucky because of nepotism, it does mean a lot.
She kind of smiles wryly and goes, "I'm not really the best person to be talking about the kid with nepotism thing, considering my son is first mate."
Yes, but did you have a little temper tantrum to make sure your boy got on the ship?
She kind of purses her lips and says,
You see,
honestly,
what had happened was.
Wait, did you?
she says, "You know, the position of security officer was my idea. I had no idea what might be waiting out here for us, and I'm glad that eventually they did accept it. And even if hypothetically it was only kept because a certain magical expert on our team threatened to quit if the position wasn't maintained, it was supposed to be there from the beginning. And you still earned it. Them making the 11th hour decision to try to cut the position that you earned doesn't mean you don't belong here. It means you were almost excluded from something you had a right to from the beginning."
Well, I guess when I think about it like that,
Kind of makes you want to go back and punch somebody in the face, doesn't it?
I always want to punch somebody in the face. Have you not
I
met me? I'm the most abrasive motherfucker you're probably ever going to meet.
I've met your sister.
Yes, and she's the calm one.
And she just kind of stops laughing. And eventually she kind of rests her elbows on the edge of the crow's nest and rests her chin in her hands, and she says, "One of these days, we're going to get to a world where our families are still there. You ever think about that?
I still have trouble coming to terms with the fact that my family is dead right now, as far as I'm aware.
You have your sister, and I have my son, and we're the lucky ones. How must the others feel? They don't have anyone with them aside from us. And I know I haven't been the most open or trusting. I've tried to make hard decisions that I had no reason to make. But you are, the rest of you, all of you're my family now. I have to take care of you.
And as a result of me being the security officer, I have to take care of you, and by extension, everyone else.
So what happened? I pulled away for a second.
Bonding.
Just bonding.
You'll hear it on the recording. It'll be good.
It was amazing.
Oh man.
We got like
Yeah, you missed
plot,
it.
We got like 3 plot threads.
Oh, now you're just fucking with me.
Like, no, seriously, you missed it, man. Like, Loop is pregnant now. Fucking.
Oh god.
Luke's pregnant. Ivy's pregnant. For some reason, Lucretia's pregnant.
We found a way to save Saris.
Yeah.
And
You guys are getting married now with
We got
Kravitz. Got a polyamorous relationship going on.
you gone Kravitz? Saris. My eyes just sparkled there. All right. Carry on.
No, and Alta, I think, looks up at you, Shamash, and, well, down, because she's much taller. Why? Because Asimar are like 7 feet tall.
Fucking Asimarians.
And she says, a part of me thinks this is a little unprofessional, but this is probably the most unprofessional situation I've ever been in. So I feel slightly less awkward saying that I've really started to look at the rest of you as genuine family members, children, and siblings to Onir, and I want to make sure you're happy and safe, because if I leave all the caretaking to you, who's going to take care of you?
Well, when you put it like that.
I know you don't need someone to take care of you. I know Luke doesn't. I know none of you need parents, but I can't not worry. I'm a mother.
He smiles a little bit. We don't need parents, but it helps to have one.
Aww.
And she kind of reaches up and, like, grabs the tip of your horn and wiggles it very gently.
It's not what I meant, but appreciate it.
She says, I know, and I'm doing it anyway to embarrass you, because that's what mothers do.
I can embarrass myself, thank you very much.
You
Hold that
can.
thought for a moment, man. He's gonna spin around and vomit more of the candy that he consumed earlier into a rainbow-colored mess. Anyway, as we were saying.
Alta just shakes her head and goes, let's get down from here. The height and the wind are probably not helping.
Oh, not at all. I've wanted to do that since I got up here.
Man, all right. So, is that everything everybody wanted to tackle?
I mean, there was one more thing, but I don't want to take
I'm
up.
kidnapping people.
It's actually it's not a comedy thing. It's actually because everyone's doing an emotional thing.
Do it.
Okay. How much later should this be? What do you think? Like post point, like where Shamash did his thing. How much later?
Oh, I don't know. Like, this can be literally anywhere. It doesn't have to be in this 40th year. It can be in, like...
Well, I mean, like, how many days? How many weeks? How many months? Like...
I don't know. It's up to you.
Okay, fine. Whatever, like a week. Let's do, a week.
Okay. You have
Okay.
like 7 years to deal with right now.
No, it's actually relevant to something somebody said.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I've been sitting on this for like 7 years and want to talk to you about it now.
Nice.
Let me just gather how I want to make this actually not so funny. So I know, right? Something that's not supposed to be funny.
I'll keep my mouth shut.
Thank you.
Joel, that means you too.
What?
Exactly.
What? I'm pregnant? Sip sips.
So it's probably like really fucking late at night, like as in everyone should be a fucking sleep. So where's everyone's cabins? Like how close are they to each other?
Probably fairly close. There's a whole segment of the ship that's just crew quarters.
Okay, so are they all locked? Are they like? Is it kind of like how we live at the? We have to knock at each other's. I'm assuming, not all living in the same one.
Correct. Yeah, you
Okay.
each have your own little cabins.
Okay, so she's probably gonna go to Silvar's, and knock at it very gently before just kind of like full volume knocking.
Okay. You notice there's actually a little bit of light coming out from under the door.
Okay.
And he, after the first quiet knock, he pops. You hear footsteps, and he opens the door. And you see over his shoulder, he's got like a little desk set up, and there's some like carving knives and shavings and of whatever. And on his little desk, he's got a block of wood that's like part way into some kind of indeterminate form.
He's a carver. I like it. She's like crying, like almost hysterically crying, but very quiet about it. It's kind of hard to explain.
Oh yeah, no, he opens the door and like ushers you in, closes it again, and just like immediately wraps his arm, pulls your head into his shoulder. Hey, it's gonna be all right. Just breathe in, count to 4. Breathe out, count to 6.
4, 6.
Just keep, and he just kind of keeps saying that until the stops hyperventilating.
She kind of like tries to regather herself because she's a little stupid, but kind of expresses, "You said you would always be here, right?"
I'm going to do my absolute damnedest, yeah.
But what if you're not?
Then I'll find a way to get back.
What if nobody is? What if I don't want to be alone.
He puts his hands on your shoulder and holds you out at arm's length and says, "Listen to me. You are never going to be alone. Not a single one of us is ever going to be truly alone." And that sounds like complete bullshit. I know it does, but
It really does.
Loop and I have been working on something, and we haven't found a way to perfect it just yet, but it's going to help. It's going to make sure that one of us is always here, and that no matter what else happens, one of us is going to make it, and one of us is going to everyone again. We have to keep believing that that's possible. We have to keep finding ways to make that possible.
I don't know what I would do if I don't know how to be alone. And if I lost anyone here, we're just expecting that every time we'll end up on the ship again, but there's going to be a time where we're not.
How do you know that?
How do you know it won't be?
And I guess that's the point, isn't it? We don't know. The only thing we can do is keep trusting in each other and trusting that we're going to be careful and we're going to keep pushing and we're going to make it.
This is so fucking cute and sad.
He reaches up and he puts a hand on your cheek and he says, "Do you trust me?"
Yes.
If you can't find anything else to put your faith in, trust that if anything happens, I am going to find you.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
But you have to trust me, no matter what. Can you do that?
I'll put all of my faith into you until I die.
And kind of pats your cheek very gently.
Squint.
Here, you want to see what I'm working on?
Yes, amongst other things, but yes.
He guides you over to the his little desk and sits you down in the chair that he was clearly sitting in a couple of moments ago. I have no idea what this is going to be. Not yet. There's always something waiting inside the wood, waiting to be found. And you have to work your way through the rough parts. You have to work your way through the parts that don't know what they want to be yet. There are going to be pieces that snarl up your knife, and you're going to make wrong cuts, and things are going to look a little, probably not the way you expected that they should when it's complete. But even something as rough and as uncaring as a piece of stone or a block of wood, there's always something worth finding in there.
Kind of like you.
Didn't need that.
It's not insultingly. It's not insultingly. It's not insulting. And it kind of sounded like it. I'm sorry, but it wasn't insultingly. It was meant. It's supposed to be sweet.
He kind of jerks his head back and he goes, "You probably didn't mean that the way it sounded, but yeah."
Meaning there's something magical inside you, past all of that rough exterior.
Past all of that, you.
He kind of goes a little pink. Here.
What?
He's going pink.
Sorry, so
Because he's blushing.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, no, I was talking to Mike. What were you saying, Gwen?
No, I don't. He kind of scrubs at his face for a second, and he turns the knife around and he hands it to you, handle first, and says, "Here, do you want to give it a shot?"
I'm no good with knives, but all right.
Here, it's easy. And he kind of, it's like the stereotypical rom-com type thing where he's like leaning
It's
around
teaching
and
how to
holding her
golf.
hands.
Oh my god! Sorry, I'm loving this so fucking much.
Is this where she got the passion for like swords?
Maybe he teaches her. I don't know. But like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. The typical rom-com thing.
And I think that's how you spend the rest of that night, at least until you get tired and just kind of pass out.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not slang for anything.
I mean, if you wanted to go that direction.
I do.
Fair enough, then that's a thing that happens.
Precious.
Excellent.
That was probably the sweetest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Okay, now I'm done.
All right. And unless anybody else has anything they'd like to tackle.
I'm good. Unless you have any particular NPCs.
Yeah,
Oh my
unless you
God.
have NPCs that you want to bring forward, please do so.
You guys have hit all of the bases, all of my bases that I wanted to hit. All my bases belong to you.
Ha! I see what she did there. It's
I
funny.
see what you did there, and the meme is dead.
Just so everyone knows, my energy is still really high, so I can still keep going for a while.
I'm very hyped up on coffee. This
Mhm.
was a mistake.
I probably want to get my second serving of McDonald's, so I might BRB for a
Okay.
minute.
Yeah, no, this is a perfect place to pause because after this,
After this, we'll what?
once everybody's good to go, we'll be rolling into the next side.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Oh, sorry. You can continue. I forgot to unblank the screen.
Okay. So the 8 of you have been at this for almost half a century. So, and at this point, certain things are formulaic. Specifically, your entry into a new world. You pass through the barrier, your form dissolves into threads of light and then stitch back together. You reappear on your specific places aboard the Nova. You approach your 12 spinning planes of the planar system, and you wait for the light of creation to fall. Cycle 47 is immediately different. And the second you cross through, and in fact, as you're crossing through, you're assaulted by this deafening, completely unbearable noise. It's sheer cacophony, and it knocks every single one of you to your knees.
Oh. Oh, fuck. I know.
A place where Yugon is comfortable.
No. This is what happened at the fucking, what's it called? The eclipse, right? Is it similar?
You don't know that at this point, but yes, it's
Oh my
exactly the same feeling.
Fucking God.
After a minute or two of picking it apart, you guys realize that what you heard was thousands upon millions of noises all playing atop each other all at once. It takes you a couple of hours, but eventually you digest it and you realize it was just millions of songs and symphonies and poems and folk tales all being told. And the second you crossed into this plane, all of these compositions were projected directly into your minds all at once in one all but deafening second.
Wow.
Out of curiosity, was there anything in particular that any of you would like picked out and remembered? Song, story, poem?
For, out of... Is it, literally all of the planes?
Not all of them, as close as you can tell, but anything from this particular system.
From this particular what?
This particular planar system.
Okay.
Hmm.
The one we were just in? Or the one we're
No,
currently in?
The one you're entering. Was there some type of, for example, Lucretia talks for hours about one of the stories that she particularly liked out of all the things she heard. A fantasy novel. If not, no worries.
I'm just trying to think of something that's
What would appeal to Evie? What would she remember? And same thing for you guys. What kind of art do you hear that really sticks with you?
probably music. If it's not a riddle, then it's probably music.
There are definitely riddles as well.
Yeah, riddles or music. Maybe a lute or harps. Types like that. Could it just be an instrument?
Yeah.
Okay, then probably some sort of harp piece.
Okay. Anybody else?
Dance.
Hell yeah, my man! Get up top.
There are some pretty amazing dance routines that you can just see being performed in your mind's eye.
Okay, I would say feats of athleticism.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if there are any exactly that, but there are definitely tall tales and folk stories about that exact kind of thing.
Okay.
a la John Henry.
I guess I would say dance as well.
Okay.
That's a sick move.
You threw off my groove.
Sorry, you threw off the dragon's groove.
Dance
So,
off.
as you descend into the prime material plane, you find a world that is populated, but not by a lot. There are massive, just uninhabitable patches of land that are completely barren. And the light falls pretty far away. But after about a month, you manage to chase it to a fairly small continent that's surprisingly lush compared to the rest of this place. It's covered with several moderately sized kingdoms, absolutely massive looming mountain. This thing is tall enough that it almost breaks the stratosphere. The conservatory, touchdown in is, you find out, is named Legato. You're escorted before the Chancellor, who goes into some of the incredibly uninteresting and boring politics of this world.
But we like red, but we also like blue.
And you find out that each one of these kingdoms has a conservatory where artists go to hone their skills, and they are very competitive. Every single one of them wants to be better than every single other one. And when you ask about the light of creation, the Chancellor says, "Oh, yes, of course. Wait, how do you know about the light of creation?"
Wait, you know about the light of creation?
That
What?
can't be good.
Well, okay, maybe it would be easier if I just show you. I think there's a mission scheduled for today. Perfect. If we hurry, we might be able to catch the tail end of it.
Pardon?
I promise I'll answer all of your questions as done, but you really have to.
Oh, all right.
The Chancellor leads you out of her offices and toward the conservatory, which is this absolutely stunning circular compound right on the edges of the city. It's facing the mountain. It's full of dormitories and studios and performance halls, and it's way more well kept. It's much more sophisticated and beautiful than anything else, up to and including the Chancellor's halls herself. What stands out is that there doesn't actually seem to be a single right now. The Chancellor leads you down a kind of a winding road down into a valley about half a mile from the campus. And as you get closer to the base of this mountain and get closer to a clearing at the end of this path, you start to hear piano music. You break out into this clearing where there's a crowd of people sitting in wooden chairs, all dressed in absolute form, like Sunday best.
Oh my fucking god.
There's a young, sort of nervous-looking man playing the most beautiful piece of piano music you've ever heard. You have no idea how the fuck they got this piano down here. But it's beautiful. Standing behind him is an old Chancellor. Explains that that's his professor. You watch her turning the sheet music for him as he plays. And the music is echoing across this little clearing and echoing into the mouth of a huge cavern that leads deep into the mountain. When the song finishes, there's just roaring applause. There's a standing ovation. And any of you who actually like music, this was so beautiful.
This was what you cut out.
This was fucking amazing. It was incredible. You've never heard music like this before.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
The studio.
I can see a tear in Shamash's eye.
I break Yugon's leg. What now?
Chancellor's like, please behave. The student and the professor both hug and kind of pats him on the shoulder. Then she gathers up the sheet music, rolls it up, and puts it inside of a small scroll case. The young man takes the roll of sheet music, bows to the crowd, and then, even more nervously than before, walks up to the mouth of the cave and places the roll of sheet music on a stone pedestal there. The crowd goes dead silent. And beside you, you can hear the Chancellor muttering, come on, come on, come on, it was good enough, come on. And then there's a flash of light that explodes from the mouth of the cavern and consumes the pedestal. And when the light fades, the sheet music is gone. And so is the song.
Was that a fucking void fish?
You know you just listened to an amazing and beautiful piece of music, and it's gone. Every single person in the audience stands one at a time first, and then in a wave, and they're all staring at the cavern. This young man looks like he's starting to hyperventilate, and his professor is hugging him, trying to calm him down. And after almost a full minute of silence, there's another flash of light. And the song hits your skulls again with almost a physical impact. And the audience just completely loses its shit. They're cheering and they're screaming and they're flooding the stage. And they pick up the young man and like almost throw him into the air. And the Chancellor screams, "Yeah, that'll show those Forte fucks."
So, I'm not the smartest, but is anyone else confused by this?
Oh my god.
I'm so fucking confused.
Someone help me out with this.
I don't know what's going on.
It's fucking useless to me. You gotta sit the fuck down. You don't know anything either.
Yeah, I don't. I'm just playing along.
So what happened?
Forte fucks, huh?
So the Chancellor explains to you, well, that's the light of creation. It determines what pieces of art, whose art is worthy of being rebroadcast to the entire world, and even to the planes, to the systems beyond ours. Everyone in our reality hears what the mountain, what the light of creation sends back. And it's an incredibly rare and it's an amazing honor, and one of our students got it. Yes. And she kind of gestures and goes, so yeah, that's the light of creation. Any questions?
Several.
Can we go talk to it?
You can try. We've tried to get into the cave. Almost no one can ever actually get in. There's usually another flash of light like the one you just saw, and you just end up walking back out the way you came. There's...
Okay, I'll take my chances.
Yeah, Shamash was about to do the same thing. Yeah, okay, flash of light. We've dealt with worse.
So you guys are just walking towards it?
I have confidence.
She kind of runs after you and goes, no. I would rather you not just casually walk into our sacred mountain. But I have a plan.
Okay.
If it's the light of creation you're here to see, there are rumors of a Forte student who successfully got into the cavern after their work was accepted by the mountain. But those bastards were keeping their mouth shut tight about it. So, why don't you spend some time here? Legato has the most skilled professors and the most skilled students out of any one of the conservatories. Make a piece of art, submit it to the mountain, and if it gets accepted, you'll have a shot.
I think that's reasonable. I'm assuming everyone else agrees.
Naturally.
So, yeah.
Obviously.
I was waiting to see if there was anything
Shamash
more.
just really wants to go in that cave.
I asked for consent first.
I'm down.
Joke.
PC culture.
Shut.
Yay.
So,
Yeah, no.
out of character, I'm going to make the assumption. Is this where we make our relics?
No.
Oh.
well,
Well, time
No.
to make a dance then.
I've already got a song of like what Ivy's gonna play, so.
Spoiler, it's going to be the dance that he showed Lucretia.
Hell yeah!
I love it. Okay, so let's start there. Shamash, remind me, what exactly kind of dance is this?
So, like you said, do you remember in Avatar The Last Airbender in Book Fire, I think it was,
Mhm.
how it was like a
Guitar
really
and
nice
Aang.
mix of
Yeah.
like martial arts and
Dance.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that. Just a lot more like fluid.
Okay. I think you. Let me see. That's definitely going to be bodies. Go ahead and roll body.
Man, goddamn right.
Okay.
I have 6 assets I could be fucking burning right now.
If you want to do it.
Mixed success versus. A 9 is a mixed success, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Fuck it, I'm burning one.
Is this
Okay.
to add on top of what you have, or to re-roll again?
It's to add it. It bumps
okay.
it bumps your previous roll up 1 to the next level.
Oh, so now it's a success?
Yes. Now it's a complete success.
Okay.
Woo!
So you're down to
Fucking-
5 assets.
Yep. Make a note of
Well, I
that.
forgot to tell when everybody came back. You guys have all gained +3 bond.
Oh, sweet.
Okay. So there aren't any professors who teach the exact kind of thing you want to make. So it's a little mixed. There are dance teachers and there are martial arts teachers, but it's sort of left up to you to find some way to fuse the two of them into one. So you spend.
No, I was thinking in character.
Okay. So yeah, you spend your year learning as many of these new martial arts as you can and as many dance techniques as you can. And it's a little clumsy, but it's not bad. It's pretty passable as a dance, and it looks pretty flashy, which is probably exactly what you were going for.
Exactly.
So I think you're going to submit like a step chart, I guess. I don't know. How
Yeah,
does
it's like a step chart would probably be the best way.
or like the water scroll with the water bending.
That's exact. That's what I
dancing?
thought. Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to suggest. Yeah.
Okay, all right, that works. Let's go with who's next.
I have a harp song.
Okay. Okay, so you're going to dedicate yourself to learning how to play the harp?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That I think is going to be there are plenty of musicians here. There are plenty of different schools of thought about music, whether it's a purely intellectual thing or whether you have to really feel the music. So I will let you either part for this.
Alright, let me see. I'll roll heart.
Okay.
Hot shit.
Holy shit.
Hell yeah.
Fucking damn. Yeah, no, you find a professor who he's kind of small and mousy and shy. He doesn't do very well in front of big crowded classrooms, so mostly he just teaches one-on-one. And from him you get a lot of how to use the technique to show emotion in the music, how to what is happening. And between the two of you, you compose and write this absolutely gorgeous harp music.
Yay.
You gone?
I'm gonna dance.
Okay. What kind of dance?
I think I'm gonna tie this into his suaveness in the future and go with something that's more like maybe elegant, like maybe dancing with a partner or yeah, dancing.
Okay, so like ballroom dancing.
Something like that.
You're gonna invent your own ballroom.
Hell yeah.
Where's the man in the back?
That would be Shamash yelling everyone attack. Gonna turn into a ballroom blitz. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and do plus body for that.
Oh shit.
Haha.
I mean, if you want to try to sell me different,
Never mind, I'm good.
Jesus, yeah, no, explicitly because it's not as active a form of dance. It's all about precision and grace. I think is the reason Yugon absolutely excels at this. What does your dance look like? Is it very close together? Is it
It's very close together, I would say, and it's kind of making him a little bit like, but he's still going along with it very smoothly. Like it's a lot of like extended and very like interconnected movements together.
okay? Well, remember, you're actually making this dance from the ground up. It's not something you're learning. It's something you're constructing.
Oh God, is this how he becomes perverted?
He learns the sickest club dance.
He's
He invents the Macarena.
Nice.
Working is a direct result of him, and we all hate him for it.
He's officially become the creator of the bump and grind.
Jesus Christ.
Bump and grind.
There's going to be some grinding. I'm going to just put that there and just see what happens because I need to tie this to present day somehow.
You're like 13 and you sound drunk. Are you okay?
You concern me.
That's out of character. Damn it.
You're 13 and a slut. We need to talk.
I'm. Why you know I'm older than that, and that's rude.
Jesus Christ. So I imagine this being like a very jazzy, where it's still a couple's dance, but it's not really straight up classical ballroom. It's it's somewhere between like
Well, somewhere between what and what?
foxtrot and swing.
Oh, I know what those are.
Oh my god, it's the sickest fucking dance ever.
Oh, dude, yes. It's kind of, actually, I can kind of see it kind of being kind of like very Broadway-esque almost, like.
Okay. Yeah, and it's a partner, a couple's dance. Yeah, very flashy, very showy, in a very different way than Shamash is it.
He's gonna.
I see him dancing to "It's Not Unusual to Be Loved by
Not
Anyone."
unusual
To be loved by anyone.
Doing a Carlton dance.
What's
Oh my
Pussycat?
Dude, he needs some serious hip action for that. I don't know.
When I
Modern-
see your,
Oh,
it's not unusual to see me cry. I wanna
Copyright.
cry.
I still freak the fuck out to this day. Like when he did that in the fucking Dancing with the Stars.
he did.
Yeah, I know, right?
I lost my shit.
He still fucking had it.
So confused.
Don't worry.
I'm gonna fucking snap at any moment.
Don't worry, Gwen. I'll share it with you later. It's a must share.
Hey, idiots, there's plot. That's Gwen.
Sorry.
Could y'all cut the shit? Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just very confused. Okay. Onir.
E.
Loop approaches you near the beginning of this year And she looks kind of uncomfortable. And she says, so, I want to do a duet.
Duet, you say?
Ah.
Sort of. I mean, I have a plan. It's kind of ambitious, and I don't usually build things with my own hands. I usually just use magic and cheat, because why the fuck would you not? But I guess if we're supposed to be, like, bettering ourselves and improving our art or whatever, you're good with building things, and I have an idea.
Just fucking kiss already.
Okay, let's hear it.
Why don't we could probably build the most badass fucking just clockwork chorus. Right? Like, how badass would that be?
Clockwork chorus, you said.
Yeah, like, just, I don't know if, like, people fucking, just, like, all kind, or, like, maybe birds, like, just do a whole flock of, like, tiny mechanical singing things. That'd be cool. Be pretty.
You know what? I think you're onto something with those birds. I think that's a good idea. Let's do it. I'm all in.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll plus mind.
Plus mind. Okay. Yeah.
Hey!
Oof.
Hot fuck.
That's literally what I got.
Yep.
Yeah, with an extra 2.
Okay. Yeah, no, you and Loop spend this entire year, and she's so tempted to cheat, dude. Like, you have to keep, like, smacking her hand and going, no, you're not going to cast any kind of illusion or sound spell on this. But it's so much easier!
I know, Loop, but you said you wanted to do this with no magic, right?
And I regret saying that ever.
Well, too bad. We're doing this and we're seeing this through.
And I think explicitly working together, like, you've been spending a lot more time together than you ever have before. But this year that you spend just working beside each other to build these beautiful little machines from scrap, it brings you into spheres that you've not even dreamed of being.
Aww.
So, closing in on the end of the year, a few weeks before the hunger is set to arrive, all of you are scheduled for a submission. The ceremony is more or less I saw at the beginning of the year. You've gone to a couple to support your, and it's a completely nerve-wracking thing. The mountain doesn't rebroadcast what it takes. Every time you work your asses off for this thing that you're so proud of and you submit it to the mountain, there's a chance that it might just be completely eliminated from even your conscious memory, the one who made the thing. How do you go about presenting your works?
Well, I don't know if anybody will appreciate how Iviana does it.
How much nudity is involved?
Quite a bit.
Oh.
But, no, okay, the thing is that she's going very, like, earthly. Like, she's not going naked. It almost like everything is covered in vines. And I mean everything. Like, her arms, there's flowers, and, like, in her hair and around the harp, and, like, and like, does she have grow vines or anything still? Like, I know I don't know if she gets anything because she's an elf or, like, what.
No, but you are a wood elf, so I think that would give you enough just because of the circumstances of your birth to know, like, what vines are actually safe to touch. And Sildar kind of helps you construct this outfit.
Oh, thank you, Sildar. And she's probably gonna play in its most like in her most natural form. Do you want the actual song or no?
Sure, link it.
Okay.
I will listen to it, and that way everyone can listen to it if they would like.
Hooray!
Yeah. Excellent. All right. Save for later. Ah,
Hey.
for release.
Yeah, my favorite song.
Excellent. Okay. Next.
I think that's you.
Shamash goes up onto the stage. You
Mhm.
make sure that the lighting is very minimal. You know, just showing as much as he possibly can about the dance, the slow movements, the dips, the jumps, the spins, all very intricate, very careful, which is very opposite of him. So you gotta appreciate that much.
Yeah, no, and it's like I think there's one point where the ground is a little uneven and you stumble but you manage to catch yourself.
And work it into the dance. Yes.
And people are pretty impressed. It's a little weird. It's not something that they know how to deal with, but it's interesting. Definitely enough that you get a pretty solid round of applause. And Eviana, you do as well. I forgot to mention
yay.
that.
Oh, thank you.
Because I'm
Also
next.
sings.
Oh,
Sorry?
sorry. Oh, sorry. I thought we were going in order.
We'll go back to it in a second.
Sorry.
I don't want to have all the NPCs go at once. It's all good.
mean,
Alta sings an absolutely beautiful aria. It's operatic, just full voice, and it lasts like 18 minutes. And,
I love it.
God damn.
and it's completely in celestial. So
Fucking amazing.
I can understand what she's
I was about to say, O'Neill's like in the fucking background crying, and we're like,
but it's
It's like I forgot you guys don't speak Celestial.
Well, I don't speak Italian, but I still appreciate operas. So.
Very true. Very true.
it's enthralling and it's beautiful, and really kills it is that it's accompanied by these faint but absolutely beautiful illusions. There's colors and there's the settings and angelic rider winged horses to help convey this story that she's telling, and the entire crowd is just enraptured the entire time. Lucretia presents a painting that she made of a famous public square in the capital city of your homeworld, where the Institute was founded, and where all of you during your application process and your training, you all spent so much time there. And it's been almost 50 years, but you remember this place so clearly, and this is so realistic. It's just a snapshot of all of these people populating the square, talking, laughing, and Lucretia was a talented painter before, but after this year, she's only gotten better. You gone?
He was cheering for her.
Aww.
go pseudo mom.
Go, Mom.
She is my mom. I mean,
Mama's boy.
shut up.
So is O'Neill.
Yeah, our parents are dead, fist bump.
Fist bump.
Sorry.
Oh, you had parents. You're lucky.
Christ.
I don't know what the deal is with Yukon's biological parents. Shit. Oh shit.
We can figure that out another day.
But yeah,
But now we're doing art.
But after her, like he hops up on stage and gets with his partner to do their routine that they've been practicing for the past year, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and it's just flirting along the edges of scandalous enough that some of the older members of the audience are like gasping, and a lot of the younger members are like, "Yeah, this is awesome." And so you do this very complicated step routine. You end up doing some swing out. There's sidecars, which sidecars are the ones where you like pick the lady up and like swing her to one side and then swing her to the other side.
Oh, I
And then
love that.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah.
I did a sidecar once before. It was so good. It was so nice.
Sidecars are terrifying.
They're so
They're amazing.
beautiful though.
And so once this dance is done, the girl he's been dancing with like excitedly leans down and gives him a very quick kiss.
You okay there, bud?
Cooties?
He's not that young. He's just not practiced.
You okay? You live?
He just grins up and is like, I'm glad you liked it.
And she kind of waggles her fingers as she steps off stage.
Oh, that's never happening to me again. Doesn't he not know the future?
So
Oh,
Onir.
fuck death.
Yep, he gonna fuck that. So how do you and Luke present, and what exactly do you present for your artwork?
Okay, so we both of us made like 6 different birds, each of varying sizes and different colors and such.
Mhm.
And then different pitches, different tones, things like that. And we just we carry 3 each.
Mhm.
We just put them on a table, and then and they're all covered.
Mhm.
And so once they're all set and everything, she grabs one side, I grab the other side. We just rip the cloth over them, and they're fairly big. They're like 2 feet tall. Filled with like clockworks and gas compressions and shit like that. And then we wind them all up, and then at the signal we just let each other know. It's like 1, 2, 3, and then we let go, and then like clockwork, they just go by themselves.
And I think it would be cute if they sang like in a beautiful round, just the melody of this old love song from your homeworld.
Oh my god! Yes, I would like that, please.
And they just keep circling and cycling around in this beautiful melody, and the crowd is absolutely silent until it's over. And Loop doesn't look anywhere except at you. Time is different for the 8 of you. It's different than it's been for anyone else who ever lived. During this journey, you don't age, thanks to whatever forces keep putting you back together at the beginning of every year. Your minds stay sharp. You learn new skills and new languages, and you never forget them. You become amazingly capable as adventurers and as people during this voyage on the Nova, but it's not just your minds that develop over this ageless century. Something less quantifiable develops too. When this journey began, Alta was very cool and professional towards all of you. She kept an emotional distance even from her own son during the day-to-day running of the ship. It's not that she was ever unfriendly. Your particularly unique situation would never allow that, even if she was that kind of person to begin with. But it was that cold distance, she thought, that allowed her to make the decisions necessary for you to keep surviving. Even if it was a cruel decision, ultimately someone had to be able to make it. And she was wrong. And understanding how and understanding why she was led her to being more open with all of you, more trusting. The playful, gentle, kind of prankstery side of her that she only ever let own her seat started to become more and more apparent, until she would laugh and spend time with all of you as though she had never been any different. Lucretia slowly became more social. In the beginning, she spent so much time listening and recording and never speaking her mind. But being around people who encouraged her to speak up, being around people who listened to what she had to say, It's drawn her step by step out of her shell. She still stays behind on the ship most times, but when a discussion needs to be had, or when the rest of you are just hanging out and socializing, instead of locking herself away in her, staying silent and trying to go unnoticed, Lucretia is there. Sildar still works as hard as ever. There are always things to fix and maintain around the ship. But when someone wanders into the engineering bay, he'll pause what he's doing, he'll talk, he'll laugh, he'll go get food, he'll actually spend time on the person asking for it. The single-minded focus at the expense of everything else in this world is gone. He smiles more often, he laughs more readily, he even shows magic sometimes. Not as often as Luke does, but he's proud of what skill he does have. And when his doctor orders him to take a break, he actually listens before she resorts to throwing herself all over the Bond engine to get attention. And Shamash, Loop has never been happy. It's not like you had a bad childhood. Your father still has that stubborn anger that we as players know, but it was always tempered by your mother's calm grace. But Loop has always wanted more. She's wanted it with a vengeance bordering on desperation. She's always thrown herself forward faster and further, so it's always been a struggle keeping up. She learns and then she moves on, and she never stops. She's always searching for the next thing with this laser-guided fervor. It's kind of frightening sometimes. She's always wanted to be the best. And now that focus has changed. Our capacity for love increases with each person we meet in our lives, every person we cross paths with. But so often we neglect that part of ourselves in favor of other, more useful parts. And by the time we realize just how important it is, we find ourselves with fewer people around to practice with. But the 8 of you have something that nobody else has ever had. Time. All the time in the world. All the time in the universe. More than enough time to learn how to care about each other. And to allow yourselves to be cared about in return. And you can see all of that in these wonderful, beautiful pieces of that you've all made for each other and for yourselves. And one by one, as you all step up to present your artwork to the mountain, the light blasts out, and every single one of them is accepted.
My God.
Oh.
And it's
Yeah.
tense, and it's silent, and everyone watches and listens. And the light flashes again, and everything, every single one of your pieces of work are rebroadcast out into the minds of the entire listening world. And people go insane. You guys have become just fixtures in this place. You've made friends here, and they are all so excited. How do you celebrate?
Oh, I'm really happy right now.
I am
Give me
too.
a second. Give me a second. Give me a second.
This is amazing.
I'm really happy. That was beautiful.
I'm getting really emotional.
This is like
I'm sorry, I'm tearing up a little bit.
this is even better than the Peach episode.
This is so emotional.
Oh, you're making me cry. Stop.
The 8 of us need to do something. And I don't know what to do other than throw food and love at them, so I don't know what to do.
But I like food and love. That's what I basically subsist on.
Okay, then food and love it is.
Yeah, food and love. I'm good with food and love.
Like banquets and
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, something nice.
A dinner party that's not attacking Lucretia.
No chloroform.
Oh man, is that too soon or is it too early?
It's way too early.
Oh, I've got tears. Legit, I've got tears.
I do too.
Oh,
Oh, my God.
And I was worried that a page and a half of exposition was going to be boring.
No!
I honestly feel like super warm on the inside. I love this.
We need
How can we
to.
go back to any game after this?
Never. This is honestly a life-changing experience. I'm just being honest.
This is gold status.
Okay, so yeah. Oh, this is platinum. So like, I don't know what else besides the capabilities of Iviana are, other than to make food for everyone
I mean, you just learned a bunch of stuff.
and play the harp. I guess.
Entertain us.
Yes, play the harp after making food.
Ooh, Yugon and Shamash can do a little
Dance,
simple number. Yeah.
You guys will dance.
I just realized that I forgot to talk about what presented to the mountain.
So what?
I think I forgot Sildar's art.
Yeah, you did.
Whoops.
I just assumed that he wasn't going to do any art. No, can you just tell me what it was then, really quick?
He carved a whole family of wooden ducks, and they were a little wonky, but he was really proud of them.
Oh no, I love them.
Ah!
Can I keep the ducks?
Yeah.
We each get a duck.
Oh, unless they like the map and not the map. The light just zaps it.
Well, no, no, you're right. The take them.
Oh, so we don't get the ducks?
Little duckies.
He's like, I'll make more ducks. I promise.
Quack.
Better make me more
You
ducks.
want ducks.
You know, if you gave me one, do you know what that would make me?
Dare I ask?
A quack.
Doctor.
Because I think I'm a doctor. Was that a pun? Is that a joke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Banquet.
So yeah, you guys have an incredible banquet. You spend the entire night celebrating, and who gets drunk?
I do.
I don't.
Wow.
That's a reversal.
I get a little tipsy.
Just a little bit. Nothing like too belligerent.
Yeah, he's,
I think I'm on the same page as Yugon here. Yeah.
Shamash is gonna fucking have a nice long conversation with Onir. He saw the fucking look his sister was giving him. So he's gonna have a nice long talk, if that's okay with everybody.
Go ahead.
You sure? I don't want to like take up
Do it.
anybody's time.
You never take up any screen time. Fucking do it.
Yeah, it's usually me. So go for it.
Yeah,
So I like
please.
to imagine that he grabs Onir by the back of his shirt as he's about to take a drink and kind of drags him.
Oh god.
I was like,
Every time being kidnapped.
I was like, who? Oh, Shamash, hi, hello.
Spins him around so he's kind of looking at him and he crosses his arms. How tall is Onir, by the way?
I'm like
At least as
6'4".
6'4"? Okay, good. We're on the same size then.
I was trying to make Ivy the tallest, and like now we're just a bunch of fucking giants.
wait, how
Wait,
tall?
Asimo's
how tall
are
am I?
fucking tall though.
So we're Dragonborn.
I'm only going to be
Okay.
5'5".
Yes.
What?
Except for
6'4".
Carrie.
6'4" is actually really short for an Asimov.
Wait, is it really?
Yes.
I thought that was like exceptionally tall.
No, on average, Asimar are like 7 feet tall.
Oh my god. All right, I'm a shorty then.
Wow,
Anyway, please continue.
everybody's like a foot taller than me.
Yep, Yugon is the tiny.
What's his height?
5'5".
Well, in present day, he's 5'5". He's a little bit shorter, actually, still here. 5'2".
Wait, how tall is everyone? Like, how tall is Lucretia and Sildar?
Lucretia's fairly tall. She's almost 6 foot. Sildar is closer to like 5'9". Alta's a pretty close to 7 feet tall.
Ivy is 5'10" with heels, and but I think her heels are like 2 or 3 inches, so she's like 5'7".
Nice. Okay, conversation.
Go for it.
I want to have a talk with you.
Oh, okay. Take a sip. What's going on?
First of all, takes the drink from him, kind of puts it off to the side. I need your ass sober for this.
Okay.
You know that I love my sister, right?
Oh, obviously. Of course I
And the only reason that I'm this aggressive with you is because she's all I have left. So I'm protective of her. Because I'm scared of losing her. I'm scared of losing her losing her, and losing her emotionally. I have nothing. I have nothing, Onir. But even I can't fucking deny the way she looked at you during your performance. That there's kind of waggles his fingers around him. Something budding or growing or whatever the hell. And I can't sit here and be the bitter brother that's keeping her from being happy. Ivy and Yugon were right. I can't do that anymore. Anything that grows between you two, I can't stop. And instead, all I can do is just let it nurture. You're a good guy, Yugon. And honestly, I don't think I would trust my sister with anybody but you.
I appreciate the sentiment, Shamash. I really do. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm giving him a hug.
I'm gonna hug him back.
Yay!
Yay, resolution.
Are you sure
Just-
Shamash isn't drunk because he called you Onir Yugon?
I was trying
You know,
not to
I
say
caught
anything.
that, but I assume he meant to say Oni.
Yeah, I did too.
But before I let go, I want you to know, again, this is my sister. And if you hurt her in any way, shape, or form, I will know about it. And I will skin you. Pats him on the shoulder. Good talk. And walks off.
I understand. I was like, oh, hey, Shamash.
Looks.
You don't ever have to worry about losing. You don't ever have to worry about losing Loop. She loves you just as much as you love her. So you got nothing to worry about.
Smiles.
I'm gonna take my drink. I was like, party! Woo!
and you hear a very faint echo. Party!
Okay, then. We may not live to see our glory.
We may not live to see our glory.
Well, we can't spoil it for anybody who doesn't know,
Yeah.
but whatever. They're basically drunk when they're singing.
But I will gladly join the fight.
But I will gladly join the fight.
And when our children tell our story,
they'll tell the
story of tonight.
Who's singing that right now?
Everybody. I would
Everyone's
say.
singing. Where's the funny, the newly found bar?
Cause if the Tomcat can get married, there's hope for our ass after all. Raise a glass to freedom, something you will never see again. No matter what she tells you. Etc.
Amazing.
The best.
Good deal. Okay, so you guys just have a fucking blowout.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna party the fucking night away. Oh, I'm gonna whip out the weed.
You know what? Fuck it. You know what? Fuck it. Shamash is partaking. He succeeded.
She makes 8 blunts and leaves them on the table, and if someone happens to take one,
I think Lucretia actually dies and ends up coughing all over the place and is like, no, never again.
No. Small breaths. You're not used to it, honey.
Hold it
No.
in.
No. What's wrong, Dragon Boy?
Has anybody here has actually smoked weed before?
No.
Never.
I've had a weed brownie once.
That's not
I
the same.
smoked so much weed last
I
year
injected
before
so
20.
much marijuana.
Oh man, Jesus Christ, we had at least 10 grams.
Yugon's trying it successfully.
Hey, there you go.
And then a little bit later, he grabs Alta and is just spinning and twirling and dancing woo!
Cutting a jig.
After a while, I think he just kind of asks Ivy that next time they decide to get high, just fucking put in his candy like before.
I've already done that, but okay.
Oh, that would explain a lot.
Hey,
What the fuck did I tell you about fucking with my candy without my permission?
Hey, Onir, I'm dancing with your mom. She's awesome.
And thus, the first your mother joke was born.
Amazing.
The best.
Does Sildar take any?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he just he kind of chilled, and like I think he brought another block of wood with him to carve, and then he looks at the blunt and looks at the carving tools and just very quietly puts the carving tools away.
No, I want to see what he makes while he's high.
Yeah, I think that's the point if he was going to say, like, no, you can make something creatively when you're high.
It looks like a fucking Van Gogh painting. What the fuck did I do?
It's fucking beautiful.
If you
I don't
say
trust-
so.
I don't trust myself around knives while under the influence of anything.
How about under the influence of that booty?
Oh my fucking god.
I regret nothing.
And Loop, I think, as the night is winding down, Onir, Loop pulls you aside.
To a side?
No, just one aside.
Okay. She gets it.
You showed me the clip. It's great.
I know.
So as everyone is finally starting to kind of reel it in and head to bed, Loop takes you aside, Onir, and she says, "This is really sappy. So if you laugh at me, I'm going to punch you."
Okay.
She, out of her pocket, she pulls the wind-up key she used for her set of birds. And she's attached it to a leather strap like a necklace. And she says, and she kind of shoves it at your chest and goes, "Here, just take this."
It's like, what? And I just pull it out and just look at it. It's like, I just puts it on immediately. And it just goes in for a kiss.
Ooh.
Oh my.
See, that's a man who, like, goes for it, you know? You know what I'm saying?
No.
Okay.
Loop, like, tenses and almost, like, sinks claws into your chest. And then just kind of eases up.
Oh.
And eventually she...
I give him permission.
And eventually she kind of backs up and goes, "Not bad. We've had better. Not bad.
Hey.
Don't worry, we've got plenty of time. I'll show you the ropes." And she kind of takes her hand and goes, "So I guess this means we get to be all sappy and shit now, huh?"
I mean, we don't have to be, but
I mean,
if you
what
want
if
to.
I kind of want to be, huh?
Well, if you want to be, then I will wholeheartedly welcome it.
Well, fine then.
All
Go do
right,
something
then.
romantic.
Okay, I'm gonna pick you up and we're gonna go out to the lake somewhere.
It's times like this you almost forget that our world is being eaten.
Are you guys watching the chat, by the way?
No, I'm not.
I'm not actually. Hold on.
I think it's worth a look.
Wait, now I need to read.
Oh my god, you guys are fucking.
Sophomore, and you always need one.
Oh. It's like Ivy peaks. You got peaks. Shamash peaks.
They fucking fall over. Oh, look, this isn't my fucking room.
Oh,
That
Kyle.
Hey, how you doing?
I wasn't watching. I was watching.
I was definitely watching, and I really liked it.
No, like we see you guys. You guys are like, it's exactly what it looks like.
Your love inspires me.
Oh
How
god,
are
you
you
guys
so
hide
high?
again.
How would she hide?
Yeah, I need to
Sildar,
find that.
kind of nods very slowly. And then he looks up at Evie and goes, "I could probably do better."
Oh my!
Whoa.
I need
Okay, that sobers her up real fucking quick.
So the D is what you take to get unhide.
Well, no, to be fair, I literally thought this was happening at the same time we were all high, so.
I need to find that girl again.
I'm just lonely. And I don't think, well, he's dating my sister, so his mom.
Oh no!
I mean,
God.
she's a full-grown woman. She can do whatever she wants to do.
I'm your new stepdad.
So that makes her your auntie.
God.
What is this weird fucking family?
I'm my own grandpa.
Well, Sildar and I aren't related to anyone here, so we're good.
Oh, boy.
Jesus. Okay, so
Anyway.
y'all spend fun nights doing whatever the fuck you guys spend your nights doing.
Yeah, we do.
And the next morning, the Chancellor leads the rest of you down the path back to the cavern. And all of you walk into the cavern. And there's a flash of light, and one by one, all end up turned around and walked out of the cavern again.
Aw.
And Alta throws her hands up in the air and is like, well, shit, now what? This entire world is going to get blown up in like 10 days unless we make it into that mountain. Luke, can you just blow it up?
Alta, I appreciate your psychoticness, but
It's inspiring, even on my levels.
I mean, yes, obviously, I'm an incredible powerful wizard. I can blow up a mountain, but can we save that for a last resort?
Maybe it needs something else.
Hey Shamash, could you throw me like a lance up there?
he's already picking him up.
We've done this before, my friend.
I would,
Why?
and the Chancellor cuts in, I would seriously, very strongly ask that you please not deface our sacred mountain.
Well, he's just going to throw me onto it.
Yeah, no harm done, except to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what if it needs something else, like a different portrayal?
And Sildar goes, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, art and beauty and all these things are wonderful in their own right, yeah, but they're not particularly special. If it needs to be unique enough for the light of creation to recognize it, right?
And Lucretia says that is the current theory, yes.
Well, then, who says it has to just be art? It could be love or a bond. A bond's power our ship, so I mean... Yeah, I'm smart. I pay attention.
I actually put Yugon down gently instead of dropping him.
Oh, well, that's the right first step.
Yay.
Thank you.
Alta says, I mean, I guess it's worth a shot. We can bring the ship around. We can figure out what's going on.
We're gonna crash this thing through the fucking mountain.
Well, I mean, we have our own bonds.
Are we gonna
That's-
save this plane with the power of friendship?
I think that's what's going to happen here.
And what exactly do you guys try to do?
Hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
I mean, that, or it could be just like, it could be examples of love. It doesn't need to be everyone at once. Like, it could be Lucretia and Yugon, or Loop and Onir. You know, it could be Loop and Shamash. You know.
Okay. The Chancellor says, I've never heard of anything like that working before, but you can give it a shot, see if it's a story that they'll accept.
Who would like to go ahead and step on up and try? Dead silence.
Everyone's
I don't think I want to make you go through this just to have it not work, because it's not going to. But it's a really good idea, and I'm really glad you suggested it. You tell this story of everything you've been through and how much closer you've all gotten as a crew.
Mm-hmm.
And the light takes it, and it gets rebroadcast, but you still can't get into the mountain.
Well, fuck.
And you all retire to strategize how the frick you're going to get into it, since this obviously isn't working.
I still think I can be thrown onto it.
Well, then maybe it does need to be all of us. Unless you think one that's just going to be wasting more time.
I don't want you guys to spend a bunch that's straight up not going to work.
But I'm not hearing that throwing Yugon isn't gonna work. That's what I'm
It's
not
not gonna
hearing.
work.
Okay.
I'm kind of stumped.
Aviana,
Oh, yes.
what do you do when you can't sleep?
Now, are you asking, in what way are you asking?
When you can't fall asleep, what do you do until you get tired?
She probably, like, hums or sings or goes to Sildar.
Okay. So you're awake and you're sort of hanging out, looking out the window, humming quietly to yourself. And you hear a faint knock on the door.
I'm assuming we don't have peepholes, right?
I mean, it's a fairly advanced civilization. You probably do. It's
It's what?
Lucretia.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
And she looks incredibly nervous.
She answers the door cautiously?
Lucretia kind of looks around and says, You're as close to a doctor as we have. You're a xenobiologist. I think you need to see this.
Very well. Come in.
Come for a walk with me.
Oh. All right.
She leads you out of the conservatory. The guard who takes care of the gate towards the mountain at night gives the two of you a nod as you walk past this beautiful hiking path back down towards the submission area.
Mm-hmm.
It's cloudy tonight, and it's dim. There's no artificial lighting. Kind of hard to see. But as you get closer to the cave, you see a light floating around outside of the cavern mouth. How do you guys approach?
Probably not stealthily, just cautiously. Like, careful steps. I don't want, like, if it's something that I don't want to alert it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you kind of motion to Lucretia, who is already on quietly as she can.
Okay.
And as you get closer, you realize it looks like some kind of jellyfish.
Oh my fucking god.
It's no bigger than the size of a basketball, and it's kind of swimming through the air with its tendrils trailing behind it. And it must, you know it must see you, because when you walk into the clearing, it lets out a very soft, high-pitched hum. And instead of running away from you, it kind of drifts a little closer. And then it starts to move away from you into the cave.
No, come back. Oh my fucking god. Sorry, I'm out of character flipping out. Oh my fucking god.
Are you going to follow?
I'm gonna follow that adorable little void fish.
Lucretia kind of reaches out and goes, Are you certain it's safe?
No, but we have to do something.
I suppose. The jellyfish flits back out, realizes you weren't following it, and hums at you again, and then very slowly drifts back into the cave.
Okay, now I'm sure it's safe.
This time when you enter the cavern, there's no flash of light that turns you around and sends you back, not like before. You progress down deeper and deeper into the heart of this mountain, and it gets colder and colder. The passageways start getting pretty narrow. You have to kind of squeeze through a while. And it would be pitch black down here, and you'd be completely lost if it weren't for this gently floating light that keeps drifting ahead a little ways, and then waiting for you to catch up, and then getting excited and going forward again, and then slowing down and coming back.
Thank you for guiding me, little white fish.
It leads you into the central chamber of this cave system, and it's massive. It's hundreds of feet tall and hundreds of feet wide, and it's full of lakes and pools of water with narrow ledges in between. The walls are completely surrounded by these twinkling multicolored crystals that just throw dancing lights all over the place. The second you enter, several much larger jellyfish float towards you. They rush up. One of them rushes up out of the pond and splashes you with water, and Lucretia starts spluttering and is like, "Oh God, I got some in my mouth." Ugh.
You'll live. It'll be okay.
Yeah, it tastes awful.
She's probably got like a handkerchief of some kind. She's just like helping her get it off.
Okay. As you're doing this, these much larger jellyfish kind of line up in front of you, and they range in size anywhere between the size of a desk to the size of a small truck.
Oh God.
They're almost in a defensive line, and they start humming in kind of dangerous sounding voice. But the smaller one drifts in front of you and flits back and forth with them. And after a few moments of this conversation, the larger ones float away and return to their pools.
Thank you, little dude.
The baby jellyfish kind of leads you to this little nook in the side of the chamber. It's got a bed made of moss and scraps of this beautifully woven and embroidered fabric. It has a pile of these multicolored rocks that are casting their own little kaleidoscope around the little corner. There's like a row of glass bottles that are neatly organized by color and size. And Lucretia's painting is propped up against the back of the wall. And some of Sildar's the smaller ducks are lined up against the wall as well. And the voidfish, the baby voidfish, kind of puts one tendril on Lucretia's hand and then points one against the painting, and Lucretia says, "Yes, I made that." And then it touches the ducks, and it touches your hand, Eviana.
Sildar made that, yes.
It picks up one of the ducks, and it kind of cradles it very close and hugs it and sets it down, and then pushes your hand more insistently.
I'm gonna pick up the duck and cradle it too.
It lets out a happy little hum, and then it picks up the two ducks and hugs it even tighter. And Lucretia says, "Do you want us to bring more ducks?" And it makes the happiest sound it's made yet.
Well, it likes ducks.
I will bring you as many ducks as that silly man can make.
And it floats around and it carves a circle in the air and just lets out this spray of color and happy humming.
It's so sweet. I love it so fucking much.
And it is, and it's beautiful, and you spend like half an hour down here just playing with this little fish, but you come to a realization that kind of stills you just down to the soul.
Oh no.
The light of creation isn't here. It isn't inside this mountain. It probably never was. And after talking with Lucretia for a while, you realizing that it's just unfortunate linguistic coincidence that these jellyfish produce a phenomenon that also happens to be called the light of creation. And it hits you like a sack of bricks that you have 9 days left in this world. That's not going to be enough time. What are you going to do with your last week and a half on this planet?
I mean, can I try to save one of the fish?
Every time you try to guide the fish out, they kind of ignore. And the little one will follow you out to the mouth of the cave, but usually no further than that, especially not with the light out. It sort of gets hesitant and scared and hangs back.
Maybe I could try playing music for it. Maybe that'll coax it out a little more.
And I think that works, but it takes some time for it to start getting accustomed to that.
Right.
And while you're working on that, go ahead and circle around as well. What are the rest of you going to do?
Josh.
Let me think
Dead
about that.
silence.
Let me think about this.
The realization that that's the void fish just was too shocking.
It was
I mean, a little bit.
unreal. It was pretty unreal.
Well, I mean, you have a week left. How do you want to spend it?
I guess for me, it's the usual thing that I do on these worlds is scrounge about for things or buy some product for later
Fucking hell, dude.
travels.
That's actually kind of rough.
Because it's been such a good
This was a
cycle.
good year,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you can always try to help me.
Tie the void fish to a big cart.
It's only the size of a basketball.
You can
It's
just
much
pick it up.
tinier. It's much tinier than you know it in the modern day.
I'm going to approach Ibiana because she's carrying around a small jellyfish creature. And he's going to go, what the hell?
Oh, yes, hello.
What is that?
It's
it
a who.
hides.
It's a who.
It's a who.
Yes.
Alright, who is that?
Well, that's a little rude. Don't you want to ask its name?
Looks from the void fish, looks to her, void fish her, leans in. What's your name?
Does the void fish already have a name, or do you want her to give it one?
The voidfish kind of hums very faintly and does a quick kaleidoscopic light pattern.
That's its name.
Now is that with a hard E or
She's probably gonna call it like Kali, because like kaleidoscope or something.
Okay.
cute.
Kaladine or something.
Kaladi? I like that.
I'm gonna light this candle.
Okay.
So
Is that
Why
what
do
you
we
do
have-
with your week?
He lights a candle with his week.
so what are we doing with Kaladi?
Oh, Joel's muted, by the way, just so everybody knows. So he's probably away right now. That's probably why
Okay.
he didn't
No, I'm
respond.
here. I'm here.
Ah,
Oh, you're muted. You're muted, too.
Oh yeah, I just got interrupted for a moment. But I have my headphones
Oh,
on.
oh, sorry. I just thought that you had stepped away for a second.
Good deal.
Sorry
Wanted
about
to
that.
make sure we didn't. It's all good. Wanted to make sure
Yeah.
we paused if we needed to.
Well, because there is no light of creation, or at least none in the cave, and I really enjoy this little void, this little thing, and I don't want it to die, so I'm going to try to take it with me.
you realize that we've had far less success in terms of bringing things on the ship.
I'm going to try.
All right. What the hell ever? Do you need help?
Yes, please.
This thing's giving you trouble?
It is a fierce warrior.
It's the size of a small fruit.
It keeps shrinking like further and further behind Eviana's back.
Aww.
You can tell it I'm not going to eat it.
Then be nice to it.
I'm going to slowly reach out a claw for it.
It
Pat-
it very hesitantly and puts a tendril against your hand.
Aww.
See?
And it lets out a very soft hum.
She's gonna give it a little hug. Like, thank you for expanding your horizons, little thing.
All right, let's try and save it.
And I think people are fascinated by this little fish because no one has ever actually lives in the mountain. No one's ever been able to get down there.
Does it
And
have
now-
stage right?
A little bit. It's a lot of people, and it's not used to dealing with human beings or any
So this-
any humanoid races.
So this thing might be your god. I'll admit I expected something bigger myself.
Ah.
Don't
like-
crush your colony.
And sometimes it'll come out for a little while, and then it'll run away back to the cave, and you and Lucretia will have to go find it again and coax it out of hiding again, and it'll stay for a little while and then run off again.
Ah, the vicious cycle.
You gone, Onir?
You know, I didn't realize I was muted. I was going to say, like, Did you hear what I was going to do, or?
Nope.
Nope, you've been muted this entire time.
God damn it! Shit. I was saying I was going to do what I usually do and going around, like purchasing things for the journey, as well as some art, some books that Lucretia might like that she hasn't already read.
Okay, so you're stealing from the conservatory.
No, I'm bartering.
I already said what you're gonna do.
Do it.
I'm,
Commit.
no, I'm bartering, and I'm going to do dance moves, and also, this is going to be the very first instance of attempt to be flirty, Yugon.
Oh.
Okay. So in that case, go ahead and roll plus heart for me.
Hell yeah.
Well, it's not as bad as my body, so
Do it, my little Tiefling.
yes. Wait.
Okay.
Mixed success.
Do I use an asset?
Yeah.
Do I use an asset?
No, you should be fine.
Yeah, but they might mock my attempts to flirt. I should make it a success, so it's actually as
You didn't
merit.
fail. You got a mixed success.
Okay, good.
Did you just ping Ghost?
I've been pinging Ghost this entire time.
I've just been noticing. I'm sorry.
It's all good. No, when I don't know what else to do with my hands, I just sit here and ping Ghost because I miss him.
I miss him too.
Anyway. What the fuck are we talking? Oh yes. So go ahead and take one asset, Yugon.
I succeeded in flirting my way to getting stuff.
Yup.
Huh? There's.
What if the world ended tomorrow?
Well, that's a good point.
So yeah, you managed to get a couple of things that will ultimately end up helping increase your understanding of how shit works. I am too tired to come up with anything more articulate than that.
It's all good.
Onir.
See, what am I gonna do my last week? Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. I think I might just faff about.
Fast.
Just like try to. Yes,
Faffing about.
I'm faffing about. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna just hang out and just really, just observe and just like maybe even study the mountain a little bit. With the light and everything, or the light was there. Just general looking around, just last looks before we leave this place forever.
Okay. Sounds good. Shamash, you said you were wanting to help Evie and Lucretia with the Voidfish?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So you spend, and it's every new person you guys bring into that defensive wall of jellyfish, but it's another presence that the smaller one starts trusting and loving to be around, but it still doesn't really like being outside. It'll follow and it'll hold, but as soon as it's done being with you, it flees back into the cavern. When the hunger comes to this world for the first time in decades, it catches you by surprise. It's a few days early and it's just here. There's no warning. There's no slowly gathering storm. There's nothing. You're having breakfast in the lounge and the sky just goes dark.
Oh, okay.
The color bleeds out of the walls and everything around you, and Alta almost knocks her chair over as she's standing up. We're in the air in 5 minutes. Scatter.
Okay.
And Lucretia just bolts in the direction of the mountain.
Yeah, same.
Wait, where are you guys going? Chases after.
I have to get Calide.
Kala who?
Forget it.
Well, he's following anyway. Yugon hasn't met the Voidfish.
All of you roll plus body. everyone who's running.
Fuck yeah!
For the
my
cave.
my time to
no.
shine.
Mixed success. Okay.
I'll just let them handle it. I'm
Nah,
just
they
like,
got it.
who?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
who?
they got it. I'll take that.
I will use my last asset for this.
Okay.
Fuck.
Well, no, you don't remember. You don't roll again. You just bump
Oh.
your.
Oh,
You just
I
bump your roll.
Oh, I thought I just. Oh, well then, a 7 and 8 is pretty much the same thing. So I'm just gonna keep it then.
No, you don't bump it by 1. You bump it by 1 degree. So you bump it from a partial success to a success.
Oh, okay, then yes.
Excellent. So yeah, Yugon lags behind a little bit, but Shamash and Evie, you run headlong into this cave, just tailing behind Lucretia. All of the larger jellyfish are submerged in the water in various ponds around the cavern, and they're very, very quiet. Normally there's this rumble of low, deep song around, even when they're not actively communicating with each other, but it's quiet and they're all very dark and barely flickering. The baby jellyfish is wisping back and forth above them, singing frantically, but none of them answer. The ground is shaking and rocks are peeling off the wall. One of the columns collapses and one of the other cavern entrances just straight up caves in right beside you guys.
Well, fuck. Like the
Oh,
one we just
shit.
came in?
No, one of the other ones that
Okay.
leads to one of the other conservatories.
Can I go and just, hey, little fish? Can I, like, go up to it?
Yeah, you go ahead and run up to it. What are you doing?
I'm trying to, calm it down and somehow take it with me.
Okay, are you just gonna... If you're trying to calm it down, roll plus heart.
Okay.
And Shamash, you can also roll plus heart if you would like to help.
Sure, why not?
It's very upset. It kind of slows down, but it's still kind of frantically singing at the other jellyfish who are now secluded in their ponds, and it's kind of following after you, but not very quickly.
Can I just, like, pick it up?
Absolutely. Roll plus
Okay.
body.
Fuck it.
It kind of slips out of your grip and it freaks out a little bit and shoots off down the cavern, but at least now it's going in the right direction.
Right.
So you guys chase after it and catch up to it. And this time when you catch up to it and grab it again, it struggles, but you manage to keep a hold of it because you can run much faster than it can fly.
Okay. Is it, like, are we able to, like, start taking it back to the ship?
That's where you're headed, yes.
Well, fuck, we have no other fucking choice, so...
Nope, looks like we're taking a void fish.
We have, like, 5 minutes, and we spent, like, half of that time getting here and calming it down.
Lucretia fires off blast after blast to cover all 3 of you as you run full tilt back towards the Nova. She clears a path for you, and you come just screaming into the clearing in time to hear the Bond engine roar to life.
Does she make it?
Lucretia?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
And as you and the rest of your defense squad, the gangplank, Alta kicks the engine into gear, and you shoot into the sky like you were launched from a slingshot. This is faster than the Nova has ever gone before. And Alta yells, "Cutting it close to the wire!"
We got a new pet.
Great. And like, Alta's a skilled pilot, and nothing has highlighted that any more than this moment where there are tendrils of darkness shot through with color screaming down upon this world, and she's dodging and spinning the ship to keep you out of the way. And there's a moment of anxiety and tension. You remember the rat that survived across the barrier, but you also remember the few people you've tried to bring along with you. But as you pass through that barrier between worlds and your vision clears, you see it.
Yay!
It's confused and it's scared, but it's here and it's safe.
It's small and it's little and I love it.
And it would stay safe for the rest of your journey. Evie and Lucretia find a huge glass tank during one of the later cycles, and Shamash carries it back to the ship. Lucretia keeps the tank in her quarters because her cabin is bigger than yours. But you're all always in and out to visit it, to talk to it, to give it little trinkets, and it delights in your company.
Yay!
And it still does. And that's where we're going to call it for the night.
That was amazing.
We got a void fish.
Oh, a lot of shit happened.
A lot.
Void fish.
Void fish!
White fish!
He is my squishy.
He's a
Shall we-
squishy.
He is squishing. He shall be mine. He shall be my squishy. Come here, little squishy. Come here, little squishy.
And it sings in your face.
I love it, and I sing back into its face.
Have you ever heard the wolf?
Wow. Well, thank you, everyone.
Splendid.
Very emotional.
Ah, yeah.
That was
Yay.
a blast.